Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom speaks, Adrian, and would you believe that he speaks with a thick Eastern European accent?
Mm-hmm.
They said you couldn't even tell it was Robert Downey Jr.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck have I been sitting here saying for the past motherfucking year?
You did. But I think most of the argument is around the look.
Mm-hmm.
So did he have a goatee up?
Yeah, he was like, hey, Jarvis. Doom catches Thor's axe, Stormbreaker, with his bare hands. We read another report where he stopped it with 2 fingers.
That's even more badass.
That tells me that we're getting a real Doom. Right? Because that motherfucker in the Fantastic Four movies from the 2000s couldn't stop a fucking rubber mallet with his bare hands. This past episode of Daredevil Born Again, season 2, it was my least favorite episode of this season.
I agree.
But thankfully, Adrian, we finally got rid of Vanessa in this episode. Like, is that a fucked up thing to say? I mean, it's a show.
I'm a Matrix glazer.
Right.
And when I think about the Matrix, I'm talking about the first one. I think it was the third one. Trinity was dying, and it was like, it took so long. I found myself yelling in the theater, will you please hurry the fuck up and die? That's what Daredevil this week felt like.
All right. Welcome to Only Comics. I'm Mike. That's Adrian.
What's up, man?
What's up, dude?
This New England weather is up to it. It's back and forth. I go hoarse. I got a cold. I wake up snotting, fucking choking, whatever, dude. It's like, it's crazy.
It is crazy. But you know what, Adrian? You showed up today for Only Comics. So, shout out to all the interns out there.
Absolutely.
Because we got to deliver, Adrian, every week. It's what we do.
Absolutely.
We could probably get a job at like Little Caesars or something because how good we deliver,
I like the context.
Okay.
But you can have the job for both of us at Little Caesars and shit. They still in business?
They are. Oh, yeah,
wow.
They are. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, they somehow call that pizza. But what are you going to do?
Yeah, right.
Anyways, there is a lot to talk about, Adrian. This past week, there was CinemaCon. Have you heard about this?
No.
No. It was out in Vegas. It's CinemaCon is what it's called. And it's where a lot of these big studios go. And from what I've read, it's more of a industry type of event. It's like a Comic-Con, but it's not as many fans. There's more industry insiders, movie studios, basically trying to pitch their movies to cinema, stuff like that.
Wait a minute. So comics is a sliver of entertainment.
Yes.
But it has a bigger audience than a CinemaCon, which is like 99% of all moving things.
More of a fan audience, yes.
Okay.
So this is more of an industry event, but they did invite a handful of influencers.
Okay.
One of the rumors all week long was they were going to debut the Avengers Doomsday trailer at this con, right? And they did, Adrian. Now, they did a fucking bang-up job of security because would you believe that they debuted this, it was like Thursday, Friday of last week, and there still hasn't been a leaked trailer. So I was reading some reports of like security with lasers, like they had a security watching everybody in their seats. So if you went to put your phone up, they just fucking lasered that shit out and blurred. So they made it virtually impossible, I guess, to film this thing. Yeah. So, but we are going to talk about what other people have said about this trailer. And Adrian, there's a lot of the viewers out there that I think are going to be upset about one particular part, because I had told everybody something since motherfucking day one. You know what I'm getting at.
I got something to do with Tony Stark, Doom lookalike.
That part. So we'll get to that. But good news is, and I don't know if this is good news, but there's an event coming up called Doomsday. Remember this?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Doom or Doomsday and Dune 3 reportedly going to be dropped on the same day. And then there were some reports about Marvel. They don't have the IMAX screen, so maybe they're going to move their release date, all this good stuff, right?
Right.
Well, they did something even better. They announced this at CinemaCon. This is kind of funny and petty in a way. So Dune has IMAX exclusivity for the, I guess, first few weeks, right? You would imagine if you were, the CEO of Disney or Marvel Studios, you'd probably want Doomsday to be on the biggest screen possible, right?
Sure.
But you can't because fucking Dune snuck their little sandworm in there first, you know? So instead of, sitting this thing out, Marvel decided to create their own version of IMAX called Infinity Vision. So they announced this at the con that they're going to launch Infinity Vision with the re-release of Endgame, and then Avengers Doomsday will be released in Infinity Vision. They said it's a new certification for premium large format theaters. To make the cut, the theater has to have the largest screens for maximum scale, laser projection for superior brightness and clarity, and premium audio formats to fully immersive sound. Mm-hmm. So they are releasing this movie. They're not going to have IMAX. They're going to have their own fucking thing. I think it's funny. I think it's almost a little petty, right? Like, you want to take the IMAX. We're so big, we'll create our own fucking platform, our own format, and release these two movies in those formats. Now, all that sounds good. Here's the problem. There's only 75 domestic theaters that have screens and setups that's going to meet this criteria. So you know what that means for us in this area, right?
Right, we're screwed.
We ain't getting shit. No, we might as well watch it on our fucking laptops, you know?
Right.
But I thought this was kind of funny. Now, again, with 75, there's, 50 states, right? Depending on,
sure,
where you count, right? So I think the odds of us getting one around us is probably going to be, like maybe within an hour or some bullshit. So, but if you absolutely need that giant screen, for this movie, you may have it in your area. But the bigger news, Adrian, is not this fucking wannabe IMAX shit. The bigger news is the trailer was released. It was about a 2-minute trailer. Again, I haven't seen it, but I do have a breakdown of what was seen there. So first of all, Joe Russo said this, one of the directors, about Doom. And we have talked about Doom here. You had Doom as a hidden gem early on.
Yep.
Right? Probably one of our very early hidden gems.
Correct.
We've talked about his power set in depth here, about how he merges the magic with the tech. And originally when Kang was going to be the big baddie for this phase, everybody was excited. And then when Doom was announced, there was a handful of people like, oh, that's a letdown. Doom's not.
That's lazy.
It's lazy, right? And I think you had brought up a point before that most people's experience with Doom were those shitty Fantastic Four movies in the early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you're basing Doom off of that Doom, I could kind of see why you'd feel that way. Is that fair?
Sure.
So what Joe Russo said, he said, Doom is not simply a villain. He's one of the most complex Marvel characters. He's always 3 moves ahead. I think that's a great way to describe him in little words, right? But he's always got a plan.
Correct.
And he is very complex. He's one that, depending on what story you're reading, he could be a villain, he could be a hero, he could be somewhere in the middle, right? Depending on what perspective you're looking at. But I want to give you an idea of what happened in this trailer. So there's some people that they don't want to know anything about the trailer, so here's your little spoiler warning. The trailer started with green hooded, metal face, Dr. Doom. He's preparing to invade the multiverse. There's a shot of Professor Xavier looking out of his X-Mansion's window. Big flash outside. So it sounds like, based off this trailer, they're jumping right into incursions.
Sure.
They even said that the sky was red in a lot of these scenes. And if you're familiar with the incursions in the comics, that's usually what happens. If the sky turns red outside, Adrian, another fucking Earth showing up, that means we're having an incursion, based off of the comics.
Well, I'm assuming there was no heat and concussion behind it, right? No. So it wasn't a bomb.
No, it wasn't a bomb.
All right.
No, just another fucking Earth showing up right there, about to collide. So that happens in the trailer. There is a fight between Gambit and Shang-Chi. Now, believe it or not, Adrian, when I first heard this, I'm like, there ain't no fucking way Gambit's going to stand a chance against Shang-Chi. What do you think about that? Right off the cuff, without thinking too much.
I agree.
Okay. Now, thankfully for everyone here, Adrian, today on Who the Fuck Is, we got Gambit. I'm thinking by the end of that segment, I might change your mind, Adrian.
I can see that. You said, first, off the cuff or whatever. But Gambit has been neutered.
Yes, yes.
He has a lot of power.
Yes.
And he can do a lot of destruction with that.
Right.
So it just depends.
But right off the bat, I'm like, oh, dude, Shang-Chi, the amount of different martial arts styles he knows, how he can, and we talked about him a few weeks ago, how he can use that chi to its fullest, potential. But there's some shit. So stay tuned later. We got who the fuck is Gambit?
I mean, but at the very least with Tatum, I mean, he'll spend some time getting through that neck.
Oh yeah, and he starts doing those magic Mike moves, bro. It's over.
It's over.
It's over. Mystique's in this. She transforms into Yelena. We see Yelena fighting Yelena. Thor and Doom face off. Listen to this shit, Adrian. Doom catches Thor's axe, Stormbreaker, with his bare hands. Fucking throws it at him, and he literally catches the fucking thing with his bare hands. I even read another report where he stopped it with 2 fingers.
Wow.
Yes.
That's even more badass than Hela. Now, does he actually catches it with his physical hand or like with a power or something?
Again, haven't seen it. From what all the reports say, it sounds like his actual hand.
Wow.
Yes. It is worse than Hela. Yeah, Hela stopped it and crushed the motherfucker.
Right.
Now, that was Mjolnir.
Right.
Stormbreaker, I mean, equally as powerful.
Sure.
The only thing it doesn't have is that, one of the things it doesn't have is that enchantment where you have to be worthy.
Right.
But from a power set, I mean, shit, Stormbreaker can summon the damn Bifrost. So this shit's probably chopped off fucking Thanos' head, and we learned how durable he is a few weeks ago. So to be able to stop that, that tells me that we're getting a real Doom.
Right.
Right. Because that motherfucker in the Fantastic Four movies from the 2000s couldn't stop a fucking rubber mallet with his bare hands. So, whole different story here. And the big shocking moment in this trailer was, Steve Rogers, not Cap, Steve Rogers returns, meets up with Thor, and Thor's like, bro, what the fuck's going on? He almost didn't believe it was him. And then he summoned Mjolnir because he's Cap and he's worthy still. Well, Steve, and he's worthy. So there's that.
I mean, so Thor's walking around with fucking
both, yeah.
Both are hanging off his belt and shit.
He's got a. Well, you're fighting Doom.
Come on! It's such a pussy move.
You're fighting Doom.
It's like these guys. You go to like a gun store and they walking around the store. It's salespeople.
Yeah.
Bulletproof vest. They got 13 guns. They're all ammoed out. They got the fucking katana in the back. The fucking face mask on. It's like, come on, dog. It's a little overkill.
A little bit. But you know what? If Doom can catch one of these motherfuckers with his fingers, you probably need even more,
Sure.
But Steve Rogers shows up, and he shows up long hair, beard, so it's not, the clean-cut Cap we're used to. And then Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom speaks, Adrian, and would you believe that he speaks with a thick Eastern European accent? They said you couldn't even tell it was Robert Downey Jr.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. What the fuck have I been sitting here saying for the past motherfucking year?
Well, you didn't say anything about his voice.
I said he'd have an accent.
Well, you did. But I think most of the argument is around the look. So did he have a goatee up?
Yeah, he was like, hey, Jarvis. No. He showed up like, yo, Friday, give me Thor's hammer. So he spoke, and this is what he said. He said, something's coming, something we may not be able to detour. And this was he was saying this overlooking the ruins of the X-Mansion. So X-Mansion's destroyed again.
Sure.
Always, right?
Right.
Like,
It's like Godzilla in Japan and shit.
Right, yeah. Same thing. Every couple years, it's just gone.
Right.
Dr. Doom's kneeling. They said his face, would you believe it or not, looked scarred.
Oh, imagine.
My God.
My God.
So he's got an Eastern European accent. You can't tell it's Robert Downey Jr., and his face looks scarred. But what are they going to do when anything can look like Tony Stark? And then Thor's remarks. Now, this will tell you, I guess, why he's got both weapons, Adrian. He talks about fighting many enemies and threats that scared him less than this, and then saying that all of his heroes and friends have died fighting those enemies. And now we got this motherfucker. Oh, this is a whole new level of enemy here. So, and then there's footage of Thor approaching Doom with Stormbreaker, the Fantastic Four meeting the MCU heroes. sounds like we're getting a lot of shit, and it sounds like it's going to be pretty comic accurate for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Doom is a massive force to be reckoned with in the comics.
Right.
And we've not seen that on screen yet.
Correct.
Granted, we've had 3 atrocious fucking. I mean, they got worse each time. There's some redeemable qualities about the first 2 movies.
Oh.
With Chris Evans as Human Torch and stuff.
Right.
But the third one was just an fucking. The less we say about it, the better.
Exactly.
Right? We're trying to remain. We're trying to be positive.
Let's go with that.
Yeah. The more we talk about that, the more upset I'm going to get. But so hearing that's a lot, right? But hearing all of this, Adrian, how do you feel about this movie potentially living up to the expectations?
The same way I felt about it when I first heard it.
Okay.
It hasn't changed for me.
Okay.
And, the rundown of the preview doesn't, make me any more or less interested.
Got it.
I've always been highly interested in watching the movie.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed.
Got it. Is that because it's an Avengers movie, or because of the Doom element that you've always been interested in this?
I think a bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always looking for some redemption for Doom specifically,
right?
From the previous Dooms that they've done, and it's an Avengers movie, and you got the Russo brothers in there. The Avengers franchise has been amazing thus far. So all of those 3 elements,
yeah, it's almost like it should be a can't miss, right? It's just a matter of, all right, how good is it going to be, right?
Exactly.
Because to your point, there's not a bad Avengers movie.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you would have told me it opened instead of Chuck, sitting in the window, in the X-Men mansion, if you would have told me it opened with Doom overlooking Latveria on a mountaintop right on top of fucking polar bear, that would be a face. I would start at the nape of my neck, pull my fucking
shit.
That would be some excitement.
That would be.
Outside of that,
okay,
it's the same shit.
I'm gonna give you one negative though, Adrian. I got a negative here.
Okay.
You notice that now we didn't even comment on this last week. We both showed up wearing Captain America hats.
Sure.
We were fucking locked in, right? This week we both got motherfucking Black Panther.
That's it.
T'Challa. You got the movie version. I got the comic version. You got the hat to match. I got the Only Comics hat. Go to onlycomicsmerch.com if you want that. But we both are rocking Black Panther shirts. And the one bad thing about this motherfucking trailer, no goddamn T'Challa to be found anywhere. So one can only hope. But I mean, dude, if you're going up against Doom, you want T'Challa on your side, bro. You want all the fucking help you can get.
Well,
but
it depends on your perspective.
Oh, shit. They also talked about in the trailer Namor and his squad meeting up with the Wakandans. And I'm not well versed with Namor's power set. I know he fucking has wings on his feet and can fuck with water and shit. I know he's pretty powerful.
He is.
He, in this scene, it was actually we saw this in one of the teasers earlier last year, where he looks like he's in the desert and he's talking to Shuri and I think M'Baku. But some people pointed out then the desert actually looks like his kingdom almost, but there's no fucking water there. So I don't know how his power works, and maybe you can fill me in, but what they're saying is he cleared the water and made like a wall, like Moses parted the sea. This motherfucker parted the ocean to allow these guys to come here and talk to him and I guess not be seen.
That doesn't sound right to me.
Okay.
He doesn't have fucking water powers as far as I know.
Yeah.
I mean, what you saw in Zombies, that's Namor.
Okay.
He's like super fast, super strong. Of course, he's on the water. He's stronger than on land. I don't know about water manipulation and all that and talking to fish and shit.
He's not talking to fish?
I don't think so. I mean, I can double check.
Yeah.
But that just doesn't sound right to me.
Yeah.
Maybe he has some technology that allows.
Could be that. I mean, he's very advanced,
to do that stuff, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's the one thing, about Kang. I was watching the Avengers cartoon, that Earth's Mightiest Heroes, this past week, and there was a couple Kang episodes. And Kang in this cartoon shows up. He comes from the 41st century, basically year fucking 4000 or something. And he's got tech, but his tech, the way it looks to the Avengers is basically like magic. It's so advanced. Appears like it's magical, right? Tony Stark tries to hack it, and he has this. He's like, "Oh, it's just tech. I can hack it," and he has he can't get it done because it's 2,000 years in the future. I was thinking, imagine if we took the tech that we have today. You can go back 2,000 years. People would think you were a fucking sorcerer.
Yes.
Right? Even something as crazy is like a gun. Imagine going back with a machine gun.
Oh, bro.
Dude, you'd rule the world.
Right.
You'd rule the fucking, anyone oppose me, you're getting fucking mowed down. They wouldn't know what the fuck is this guy doing? He's got that thing in his hand. It killed fucking Tommy. Tommy's gone. Oh my God. You'd be the ruler of the motherfucking world.
Right.
So we're talking about some of that on other stuff. But
hold on, let me
got?
correction on Namor.
Okay.
So physical powers, his strength is compared to Hulk. But it's more like Hercules and She-Hulk. He can fly high speeds up to 350 miles an hour.
Damn.
Durability and healing, resisting bullets and extreme ocean pressures. He can communicate with marine life telepathically
can control flounder.
And can control water to create massive tidal waves.
Okay.
Can breathe on land, but his strength fades over long periods of without water. He has enhanced vision and emit bioelectricity. So yeah, I guess he can part the sea.
Oh shit.
And talk to fish. So
damn.
There you go.
Nice.
But there's water underneath the desert, though. I mean, you could probably, if he can control water, he could probably pull that shit up wherever he wants to.
True. Yeah. So who knows? Remains to be seen. But what that sounds like to me is then we're going to get to see Namor's power set for real.
Right.
Like, and now that you say that, as shitty as that second Black Panther movie was, I do remember when he attacked Wakanda and he brought the water with him.
Sure.
So I guess that does make sense. But I mean, hey, blasting somebody with a wave and parting the motherfucking ocean are two different things.
Right. Well, what he did bring with him is whales and sharks and,
Come on, Free Willy.
All that kind of bullshit.
Come over here. Some other things from the trailer. We talked about Gambit fighting Shang-Chi. Gambit's also going to be fighting Sam Wilson. And then Mr. Fantastic is there, and he attempts to restrain Sam Wilson at some point. So we're going to get a lot of, sounds like, X-Men versus Avengers, X-Men versus Fantastic Four, Avengers versus Fantastic Four. Good old fucking brawl for all, Adrian. The one thing one of the other big differences from the comics, and this is, in the comics, the incursions are two different universes colliding at once. One of the pieces of news I read here is that in this movie, it's 3 worlds that are going to be colliding. You got Earth 616, Earth 828, and then Earth 1005. I think that 828, is the Fantastic Four's universe from First Steps. And then the 1005, I believe, is the Fox X-Men. So these 3 universes are going to be colliding at once, they say. But I'm like, it could happen, or we could see something where, let's say, the X-Men's universe is going to collide with the Avengers, and the Fantastic Four popped over because theirs already fucking collided with something. Who knows? But sounds like a big fucking movie. And there were some screenings this past week, like internally. And so far, everyone now, I guess you got to take these with a grain of salt because you're showing them to your own people, right? So Disney showed this movie to some of their insiders, and everyone's, oh my God, it's the greatest movie. It's the best MCU. It's better than Infinity War, which I don't think that's crazy. I mean, you don't build a movie like this and intend to not make it better than your past movie, right? Like that should be that's probably their goal, right?
Your kids should always do better than you,
right?
Yep.
So hopefully that is the case. But there's a lot that I think this trailer, at least hearing about it, leads to more questions than answers, which is cool,
Sure.
And it does confirm a lot of the rumors that we've talked about, right? We talked about the incursions. We've talked about, we've heard that Gambit was going to be in this. And I'm kind of like, dude, he ain't my first choice to play Gambit. but it's one of those things where I'm just glad we have Gambit in the movie.
Sure.
I mean, you weren't even big on Gambit until X-Men 97.
Still not.
Still not. No. But it kind of like put like, oh shit, this guy's not just some bullshit dude talking shit.
No, I mean, I thought about him the way I thought about the old Iceman.
Okay.
You know, just kind of like, I mean, of course, Gambit is not Omega level like Iceman.
Right.
But I mean, you looked at the old Iceman, he was just a ball of fucking
snowman.
snow.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to what he can actually do. But Gambit, I mean, he is more powerful than he has been depicted.
Absolutely. So, what else about this movie? We believe it or not, there is some other news, Adrian. Now, you know who was not very active at CinemaCon was DC.
Who? Who we talking about?
I got something on them later. I think you'll enjoy that. But the other, Robert Downey Jr. coming back. You said this a few minutes ago. People, it's lazy. Russo, one of the Russos was talking about this, and I think he took a page out of our book, Adrian. I think he's responding to everybody. So he talked about bringing Downey Jr. back. He said that he is ingrained in the fabric of the MCU for obvious reasons, and we would talk about when and how, if there could be a return at one time, blah, blah, blah. This was around the time RDJ was on his way to win his Academy Award for Oppenheimer. And this guy, Russo, called him the greatest actor in the world. Now, it could be a stretch.
That's definitely a stretch.
It's a stretch. I mean, I guess that year when you're winning that award, you could argue that, this past year, people looked at you that way. You won the actor of the year.
It's like saying, Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player ever. He's the greatest basketball player that's played the game.
Yeah.
But I can probably guarantee you there's 1,000 other dudes on the street that could outperform him.
Okay.
So it's kind of like
gotcha.
That.
Yeah. Like you're saying, like if I was in the movie, I'd probably be the greatest actor over Robert Downey Jr., but I just wasn't there.
Like,
I just was busy.
Exactly.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. But that year, according to the Academy, he was the greatest actor. Okay, cool. And they talked about, bringing him back into the universe, into their multiverse. And he said, we can do whatever the heck we want. And I think that's kind of like funny for the people. Oh, it's lazy. Bitch, they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Right.
And if you have the opportunity to take an actor, forget about the name. This guy won the Academy Award for Best Actor this past year. And you're making a movie. Why would you not want to get the best actor, according to the Academy, in your shit?
Well, RDJ is not just the best actor for the year. He has comic book lineage.
Right.
So he's also the best actor for the role. Like I've always said, hey, there's a bunch of young cats out there waiting in the wing. Give them their chance.
Sure.
But when you got someone who's seasoned and taking a character, a B plus character, made him an A plus character in Iron Man,
right?
Then he has lineage and he will knock this thing out of the park.
Absolutely.
So it absolutely makes sense.
Yep.
Now, if you take, Robert De Niro, he's an Academy Award actor, right? You're not going to make him fucking Doom.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
it's a little more to it than just that.
Yeah.
But like, why would you not want to take this guy?
Sure.
And also we've talked about this here, the whole, two sides to one coin. There's a lot of similarities between Doom and Tony, but there also is a lot of differries.
Absolutely.
Almost polar opposites. Almost like these two almost yin and yang each other in a lot of ways.
Right. So for all you fuck fans out there that's still on this, it's lazy to cast him, just think about RDJ as having a doppelganger. Right?
There you go.
And Doom is RDJ's doppelganger playing this role.
Right.
Think about it like that. And get over it. Because there's nothing you can do about it at this point.
Nope. It's coming. It'll be here before you fucking know. It's already damn near May, Adrian.
Yeah.
The year's flying by. Crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Which means we're, one step closer to Spider-Man Brand New Day. This is also in the news. This is a rumor that is resurfaced. So in the Netflix Marvel shows, Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica Jones, there's a character that kind of weaves her way in and out of most of these shows. Claire Temple, Rosario Dawson's character, the nurse, right? If you remember last episode, I don't know if it was last episode or the week before, Daredevil Born Again. We're talking about that episode this week too.
Mm-hmm.
And what, dude, I was loving this season, but this fucking episode was.
I was like yawning. I'm like, so.
Yeah. What's going to happen?
Are they going to fucking 69 each other or something? I mean, what's going on? Fuck.
But if you remember in one of these episodes, I think it was the week before, they mentioned going to get some help for Bullseye. He's all fucked up, right? And I think a lot of us were thinking, oh, he's going to Claire, right? Mm-hmm. He's like, I know someone. I mean, I don't know how many fucking nurses he knows that's going to come see him, out of the hospital. So, but there's a rumor that resurfaced that Claire Temple is actually going to show up in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Mm. So we know we got the Punisher connection. Right. A lot of people believe that Daredevil's going to be in this movie as well. Sure. Some people are feeling that. Another rumor is that not the Netflix, Daredevil Born Again, this season's going to end with Matt Murdock in jail, which they're locking up vigilantes. That's not crazy. Sure. There's a scene in the trailer with Spider-Man where he's fighting the Hand and he's in a prison. So people were thinking, now this could be completely off. They could be teasing this on purpose. But think about this, Adrian. Spider-Man, Daredevil. Imagine in Brand New Day, Peter Parker, Spidey shows up to prison to fight the Hand to break Daredevil out of prison. Be a pretty cool fucking scene.
Is it Matt Murdock in prison or Daredevil in prison? Because there's a difference.
There's a difference.
Right? So did Fist lock up Daredevil, right? Which means that he then exposes who Matt Murdock is, or did he just lock up Matt Murdock without exposing? Right. So in other words, he figured out a way to lock up the attorney versus the vigilante.
I would say the vigilante.
Okay.
Now it would be
now we got a fucking Spider-Man moment here, right?
Correct.
Now everybody knows who Daredevil is, right?
If he told everybody, he could have kept it under wraps too.
Sure, but what I'm saying is from outside optics.
Yes.
If he locked up Daredevil, then he exposed Matt.
True.
If he locked up the attorney, then he figured out a way to just get the attorney. Either way, he gets Daredevil off the street. Right. Without the exposure.
True. And either way, that sounds a lot more fucking entertaining than what we watched last week. But,
the weather changing was more entertaining than that.
God,
that was anyway. We'll get into it.
We'll get into that. But now in this movie, Claire could show up for several reasons. Maybe Daredevil's in the movie. Punisher's in there, so maybe he gets fucked up and needs some help. Right. Spider-Man could get fucked up pretty bad, and maybe Punisher leads Spider-Man to Claire. Maybe Hulk beats his ass. Hulk's in this movie. This is another thing that, I hope that they don't ruin this. This Spider-Man movie is up there with the Avengers movie, right? As far as interest, I'm assuming Avengers movie a little bit higher. But when you have a Spider-Man movie, it's going to be a good movie. Right. How good, who knows? But there isn't really a bad Spider-Man movie. No. And if there was, it was a while ago, dude. It hasn't been for a long fucking time.
I don't remember a bad Spider-Man movie. Like an Eternals level.
Oh, God, no.
Or Madam Web or some bullshit like that. Now, there have been moments in Spider-Man movie that have been bad, right? We got the Thor moments with the dancing down the street thing. Yep. Some shit like that. But that's really, out of all the movies, that really sticks out to me.
Absolutely. So it means we're probably in for a treat. And then, we're getting a Savage Hulk back. We're getting, what's her name? Sadie Sink's in the movie. We fucking still don't know. But probably a Jean Grey. There's been some chatter. This has not been confirmed. Some chatter about Scott Summers dropping by in this movie as well, maybe in a post-credit scene. And this is I've seen people upset about this. Like, it's stupid that they're going to introduce X-Men through a Spider-Man movie. Do you have any issue with that?
They're all in New York. Of course not.
Thank you.
Was it stupid to introduce Spider-Man in an Avengers movie?
Right?
Or have Spider-Man in the Iron Man movie or Iron Man in the Spider-Man movie? No. They're all kicking around in New York. It's about time they start being all over each other.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even Avengers. It was the damn Captain America movie.
Whatever.
You got a Captain America movie introduced Spider-Man.
Sure.
Nobody cares.
No.
You introduced Black Panther in the Captain America movie.
Right.
Which then led to a solo movie and then led to a fucking shitty-ass sequel.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So yeah, I don't have fucking have Wolverine show. I don't give a shit. Who cares? Like if they're supposed to live in the same universe,
right?
Isn't it weird that superpowered individuals don't cross paths? Like, You know, like
fucking teleport Alpha Flight over from Canada.
Shit.
Who gives a fuck, dude?
Who cares, dude? They're gonna be our 51st state at some point, anyways. You know. So last piece of news is the other studio, Adrian, DC, and the reason they're in the news is some other website, Hollywood Trade, I think, or some Hollywood reporter, literally shit all over them.
They're in the news because they're not in the news.
Right.
It's like, wait a minute, where's DC? That puts them in the news.
Yep. Like, so it's not just people, oh, you guys are hard on, it ain't just us.
Right.
Other people are noticing this too. So they did have a small presence at CinemaCon. They shared a brief teaser trailer for Clayface that said went over okay. And then they had an extended preview of Supergirl, but we've already seen this. Right.
I thought you were gonna say they had DC soda coasters on the tables or some shit.
And they can't create a new logo because they already did that.
Right.
You know, they tried that before. But this is what people, you know, at least this other site, the Hollywood Reporter, was upset about. They said, any news out of CinemaCon about the Batman Part 2? Nope. Anything exciting from Superman sequel? Nope. How about a video message from David Cornsweet? How about Nicholas? Like, they're literally like, we saw nothing. There was a teaser for Clayface that left the audience mildly intrigued. And some influencers say new clip from Supergirl was good. Nothing was bad, but basically people were like, dude, we want more. Like, you have Superman, nothing. You have Batman, nothing. Wonder Woman hasn't even been casted yet. And that was kind of their point. Like, that's your holy trinity, right? Like, that's what they're known as.
Right.
And you got nothing from any of them? It's like they're gun shy, dude.
Gun shy.
You like that? That was, that just happened by accident.
Right.
But I mean, could you imagine?
Magnificence just rolls off the tongue,
absolutely. Right? Could you imagine, like, put yourself on the DC studio side? You have Batman, who we said last week was the second most popular character ever. Now they're trying to ruin that, by the way.
Of course.
You have Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. And you have CinemaCon. You're putting out these movies, and you had nothing to say about these three. Your top fucking three. You're like, hey, check out this Clayface trailer. Now, I think Clayface is going to be good. Like, I'm looking forward to it.
But in the grand scheme of things, who is Clayface?
Right, you're not going to leave
maybe
with
that should be one of your things. Who the fuck is Clayface? Well, who the fuck is DC?
But like, dude, you have these three in your back pocket. Like, look at what fucking Marvel's doing. Avengers, Spider-Man, top two entities, top two properties within Marvel for the longest.
Right.
So they tried a bunch of other shit. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. Right. This last phase, people were kind of lukewarm on them. I mean, us, we watch everything every way. As long as it's not fucking Eternals, I'm good.
Yep.
But I'd be lying if I don't acknowledge that, yes, as a whole, maybe this last phase wasn't at the same level as the first phase. I don't think it was bad, but what did they do? They went back to what works. All right, let's fucking get an Avengers movie ready. Let's drop a Spider-Man movie.
Yep.
These motherfuckers like, you want to see my Clayface teaser?
Yeah.
So it's not just us that are upset with that. I'm just more shocked that you have these three, and we shit on DC a lot, but the top three over there, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. You could throw Flash in the mix, right? But Ezra Miller left a shit stain on that character. That's going to take a few more years to wear off.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this feels like the Justice League rush, you know? Maybe it is just they're recognizing that, you know, they've rushed so many things and they've failed. Maybe they're going to come out with some heavy hitting movies in a couple of years.
Right.
But I mean, I don't think they had a plan. I mean, they fired fucking Superman, Wonder Woman.
Right.
I don't know if they fired Aquaman, but he ain't coming back. You know, Jason Momoa.
Nope.
So I don't think
He's
they
Lobo now.
And then fucking Shazam, you shit all on that movie. So I don't think they had a plan, dude. Once they did all that stuff, you know, maybe they just lucked out and got Cornsweet. I think Cornsweet was still a fucking reach, whatever. But I don't think they just had a plan to replace all these cats.
Right.
And besides that, they don't have any scripts, apparently.
And I do think they're a little gun shy. I think it's kind of like, dude, we fucked this up once. Like they're almost, we don't know what to do with Batman, so let's just not do anything with him right now.
Hey, maybe sometimes that's the best thing.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I am a fan of letting Matt Reeves do his thing because I don't like the idea of having two Batmans on screen at the same exact time in different universes. I think it's unnecessary.
Yeah, but Batman is only one of a handful of fucking people that they can have on the screen right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Superman, Batman, they did a good job with, Superman, Wonder Woman. They did a pretty good job with Aquaman.
Yeah.
They can recast the Flash, get that fucking bad taste out of our mouth.
Right.
You got the Teen Titans they can do. You got the Terminator. You got all these villains and shit that you could do. Fuck Clayface. That ain't shit, So you got all of this stuff. I'll take a fucking Alfred and Gordon movie over Clayface.
Damn.
So, but the point is they got all of these characters.
Right.
The Green Lantern, they at least coming out with a Green Lantern show, right?
Yeah.
But they got all of these other characters and stuff that they can be doing things with, but crickets.
Right.
Crickets, dude.
And even that, you have the Green Lantern show. Why don't you show some shit from there?
Right.
It's supposed to come out later this year.
Yeah.
You show us one little trailer, everybody shit on it, so now you're gun shy there too?
Yep.
Fuck. Anyways. Well, that is the amazing news this week, Adrian. Thank God Marvel's still around. Holy shit. I don't know what we'd talk about if they weren't doing anything. We'd have, it'd be a short show,
Right. We talk about Godhood comics.
Yes, 100%. All right, we're going to wrap up the news with a little thumbs up, thumbs down like we do every motherfucking week here. So the first piece of news, we are still getting Doomsday, Adrian. Disney and Marvel decided not to move their release to take advantage of the IMAX screens. Instead, they created their own shit called Infinity Vision. I'm actually going to give this a thumbs down.
Yeah, that's a thumbs down.
I think it's stupid.
How long is it going to take to roll that shit out? And is it going to be ready by the time the release of the movie?
And there's not going to be enough of them. They said 75 domestic. Well, dude, if you do math by state, that's, not every state's going to have two.
No.
Well, so, I'm thumbs down. You really should have just moved the movie.
Right.
If you really wanted IMAX, you should have just moved it.
Right.
But,
and besides that, I got my own 850-inch screen with cosmic surround sound in my house. So I don't need, all that bullshit.
And do you know what? This movie, we are so excited for this movie. I'd watch it on a projector outside this fucking building. Oh my God, I'd watch it at the fucking grocery store,
Right.
So speaking of Doomsday, at CinemaCon, Marvel debuted the trailer. We haven't seen it yet. We've heard all about it. We've heard that Doom and Thor are going at it. Fucking Thor can't even touch Doom. Doom actually, Adrian, has an accent. And he's not Tony Stark. What a fucking shocker.
Right.
Where'd you hear that from in the past? Right fucking here. So incursions are happening. Oh my God, Shang-Chi's fighting Gambit. It sounds amazing. I'm giving this a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
The other rumor is that Rosario Dawson's character, Claire Temple, is going to show up in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So what that tells me is if the night nurse is showing up, somebody's getting fucked up.
Right.
So I give that a thumbs up.
Absolutely. And that's one of those characters that could literally show up in any Marvel. Claire is like the Punisher.
Yeah.
They could show up in anybody's fucking movie.
Right.
Thumbs up.
It's like that whole, 10 degrees of separation? Right. Somehow they're connected, dude.
Exactly.
Somehow. And then last piece of news is that there was almost no news from DC at CinemaCon. They showed a brief teaser trailer for Clayface. Now I do want to see this movie, but you don't lead with that. You got Avengers and Spider-Man on the other side, and you're like, yo, check out my Clayface teaser.
Right.
So I'll give it a thumbs down, dude.
Thumbs down. Clayface is probably like the Rhino on the Marvel side.
Right.
I mean, come on, dog.
Crazy. Well, that is thumbs up, thumbs down. Guys, subscribe if you haven't already. Shout out to the interns. The internship is now on Spotify as well. So we had a handful of you guys pop over there. So appreciate that. And what do you get with that? You get other stuff, Adrian. But right now we got this stuff right here. So we're gonna hop into, let's get some bullshit out of the way real quick, okay? Now I say bullshit, I'm partly joking, but I will say that this past episode of Daredevil Born Again season 2, it was my least favorite episode of this season.
I agree.
Okay, not horrible.
Yeah.
But I think they set the bar so high with the first 4 episodes, and then to get this, I don't like, and we talked about this last week, are they going to drag out this Vanessa thing? And of course, she has to be real-alive, then unalive, then real-alive. where,
and then we got to watch it float between, past and present and fucking, the
flashbacks, but overall, this was a filler episode, in my opinion.
Sure.
The episode could have been 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The stuff with,
Well, it's normally 12, so I mean, that's not a real stretch.
Right. But like nothing really happened outside of Daredevil and Bullseye leaving the church, right? You had some little action there. And then they're just, going and walking forever and ever. And he's about to die, picks him up. Oh my God. But the flashbacks took up a lot of time. And this kind of falls under, I don't need everything to be explained to me.
Right.
Like I almost don't need to know that Buck and Wesley had this connection and he was working with him. It's just way too much backstory sometimes.
And that weird wig Buck had on.
Oh yeah,
cap and stuff. It's like whatever. What?
And now we know that Matt likes feet. We learned that. That's cool, I guess.
Sure.
And then we had the Vanessa flashback, dude. The CGI on that. The aging got a lot better.
That's what I was going to say. That was the highlight of this show.
Yeah.
Age regression technology has gotten...
It's got a lot better, dude.
A lot better, dude. A lot better.
But there were some of those Vanessa scenes that felt like they call it Uncanny Valley, where like, you're looking at something fake.
Right.
But it looks so real that it almost makes you uneasy. And that's the struggle with like video games and stuff like that, making these characters where you don't want to have something that has that effect on your viewer where it makes them uneasy watching it. It's just some natural shit that we're fucking probably the Anunnaki did that for us,
Gotta be careful. Anything the Anunnaki creates, they're gonna get pissed and
I know,
destroyed, right?
I'm not saying anything wrong with it, Enlil. But thankfully, Adrian, we finally got rid of Vanessa in this episode. God, yeah. Like, is that a fucked up thing to say? I mean, it's a show.
So I remember watching, I think it was the second Matrix.
Okay.
When they were at the end where what's her face was dying.
I never
just
watched the first one.
Anyway, I love, I'm a Matrix glazer.
Right.
And when I think about the Matrix, I'm talking about the first one.
Yeah, I say when you say that, you're not talking about the series.
No.
You're just talking about first movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was like, I think it was the third one. And it was like Trinity was dying. And it was like, it took so long. I found myself yelling in the theater, will you please hurry the fuck up and die? That's what Daredevil this week felt like.
Yep. Now, doesn't mean there isn't some shit to talk about.
Sure.
There was the whole Daniel Buck. I thought that was a highlight of this episode, too.
Yeah.
Because we're thinking, and especially those of you that have seen The Sopranos, you're getting some Adriana vibes here, right? You're like, wait, they're driving. He kind of knows it's coming. We're thinking he's going to get fucking popped, dude. And it's more of just a test, Get rid of this other fucking body, dude. Come on.
I actually thought he had BB in the back.
I did, too. Yeah.
That would have been some shit.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, so I think that was a great scene, or a few scenes, the way that was written. That to me probably was the highlight of this episode. The Vanessa stuff just went on way too fucking long. But I have a question about the Vanessa stuff. So,
what's up?
And remember she wakes up, right? They're talking. She wants, tell me a story, Fisk. Oh my God, all this bullshit. But she asked for pineapple juice.
Right.
And then Fisk was like, I thought you don't like pineapple juice.
Right.
And she said something about it tingles my lips or whatever.
Well, he said that he described the reason that she didn't like the pineapple juice.
Okay.
So that's what that was about.
Got it. And then he got it for her. And then she died.
Yep.
Do you think that she was allergic to pineapple juice and the fucking, the brain bleed and all that made her forget? Because she was like kind of loopy when she woke up, right?
I think she was loopy, and in the pineapple juice, she was regressing.
Okay.
And it was just a natural decay that, sometimes it's like how the body's already dead, but you have these twitches and eyes open or the farting and all that kind of stuff. I think it was one of those things. On the way to dying, you can have a moment, a somewhat moment of clarity. Yeah. And I think that's what was going on.
Okay. So maybe she wasn't allergic to pineapple juice. She just her brain wasn't right and she thought she liked it.
Yeah.
Okay. Or maybe she was fucking allergic and Fisk accidentally killed her.
Or maybe.
Dude, he would not be able to live with himself if that was the case.
I mean, he just put the blame on Bullseye and Daredevil anyway. So
that's true. That's true. I think that's the biggest thing coming out of this episode is how fucked up is Fisk gonna be now?
He's super fucked up.
Like, we've seen him fucked up with Vanessa around.
Right.
Now he loses his Vanessa, dude, who he kind of lost and got back, right? And now they're almost this, like, power couple in a way.
Right.
You know, from a political standpoint, I mean, she's fucking flexing on the governor, and then he loses his girl, Vanessa. So I think he's gonna fucking snap. I think we're gonna see OG Kingpin, you know, and I would assume that this ends with him being removed from office because he's going to fuck it up.
Sure.
Right. He's going to do too much at some point.
Right.
And he's going to get yanked. So I'm wondering if this is kind of the catalyst for that. Bullseye essentially killing Vanessa is going to make him flip that switch and go from, you know, walking this line of Kingpin versus Mayor to being full Kingpin and getting his ass the boot out of the fucking office.
I think absolutely he's going to go full on Kingpin. I think he's just going to drop the whole mayor act.
Oh yeah,
because he's already telling you know, the henchman dude, like, just do whatever resources, you know, whatever. And this fucking guy is glad to do it.
Oh yeah, Buck is
no, not Buck. The other one, the task force guy.
Oh yeah, that fucking
that's
big
sick
head.
fuck, right? I mean, he's glad to go and just, you know, revoke everybody's rights. You know, he's always walking into places. We don't need that. You know, just move out the way.
Right.
You know,
like when he showed up to the law office and knocking all the books.
Right.
So like, bro, I want this guy needs to get his ass whooped.
Yep.
They're doing a good job of making me want to see that guy get killed.
Yep.
You know,
absolutely.
So hopefully get someone fucking Bullseye, make it happen. Shit. Hey, maybe next episode we'll finally get Jessica Jones since they teased her and she still ain't been in the fucking show. You know.
All right.
So I also, as much as yes, it was my least favorite episode, it did feel like filler, but I also think that this is kind of the I don't say the setback, but the calm before the storm, right? We've had, you know, 4 great episodes, a lot of action, people dying, fights, all this stuff. This was kind of like, I think, the halftime. Everybody relax, take a break, and then I would assume the next 3 are going to be, you know, even crazier than the first 4.
I agree. I mean, it's like you can't have escalating, you know, to a peak. You know, you got to have the reset. And I felt like this is the reset from the excitement. But you can also, because anger and excitement is still an emotion. And a lot of people watch things because they're angry at characters on the show. Yeah. So if you get angry at a show, that's also an emotion that ties you to that show.
Right.
So, I mean, you can have this, you know, the filler, the reset, which you're angry about because the first 4 has been so good.
Right.
But then now your expectation for the next 3 or 4 is uphill as opposed to a continuing arc.
Yeah, it's got me wanting to see the next episode because of that exact reason.
Just to erase this bullshit.
Yes, yep. And also, like, you're fucking, I got blue balls now. You're like, dude, you're stringing me along. Like, all right, man, come on. You know, so hopefully next week will, you know, get us back on track. But again, I mean, we're talking my least favorite episode of an amazing show. So it's not, but moving on. So we talked about Gambit earlier. Gambit fighting Shang-Chi. And I've always been a big Gambit fan because of the X-Men, the animated series. He was a main, you know, feature in that show. But I never looked at him as like, you know, the most powerful guy. He was funny. He had the whole Cajun, you know, swang to him. He had the accent, the charm, all that good shit. The powers were cool. The kinetic energy charge. And he always had this kind of almost like, I don't want to say a bounty hunter. He was a thief. So he had this kind of edge to him.
Sure.
He was a fun character. But I had no idea the depth of his powers and also how much he was nerfed. So today's segment on Who the Fuck Is, it's Who the Fuck is Gambit? I'll tell you who he's not. He's not this bucket-headed Magic Mike dancing motherfucker. But like I said, I'm glad we have a Gambit on screen. You know?
Well, let me ask you this. Did they 10x his power because he's becoming popular? Or did he always have these powers? Whatever you're getting ready to say.
He's always had them.
Okay.
But they were nerfed a little intentionally, like in the comics. So let's talk about, first of all, he's from New Orleans. And I think a lot of people think he's just an X-Men who likes to fucking deal cards, right? He's got a gambling problem or some shit. But he was raised in the criminal underworld of New Orleans. He also was prophesized to be a messiah of centuries-old war between assassins and thieves. So he wasn't born into a regular family. He was abandoned at the hospital. So fucking parents had him in New Orleans. The reason they abandoned him was his eyes are completely black with glowing red irises. He was born that way.
Right.
So he was born almost like some Thanos shit. Like instead of trying to kill the baby, they were just like, fucking leave this baby here. I don't want this red-eyed fuck.
Think about him charging up during birth.
But that's the thing. I don't think they knew he was a mutant at the time because he didn't have the powers. He was just born with these fucking eyes. He looked demonic.
Right.
Then
kind of like Nightcrawler was.
Yeah.
Right.
Then he was kidnapped from the hospital by the Thieves Guild. This is a massive organized crime syndicate in New Orleans, and or probably bigger than that, but that's where they were based out of. They believed that he was Le Diable Blanc, the White Devil, prophesized child who would unite the warring Thieves Guild. That's who adopted him or stole them, and then the Assassins Guild. These guys have been at war for fucking years. They're thinking, this little red-eyed motherfucker is going to unite us. He's the Messiah.
Hold on. In order for you to think that, so think about this. In order for you to think that, you have to think that there's an opportunity for unification.
True.
So why don't you just go do it your fucking self? Right?
Well, the prophecy, Adrian.
So you need somebody else to do it?
Yeah.
You're thinking it, just go do it.
Oh,
anyway.
Well, the prophecy doesn't read that way,
Okay.
So they're thinking, this is the guy. I maybe because he had the fucking red eyes, they're like, he's got to be the White Devil, right? He's got fucking red eyes. He's our our Messiah.
Okay.
So they stole him. Then he was adopted by Jean-Luc Lebeau. That's how he's got the last name Lebeau. I said Lebeau. Remy Lebeau is Gambit's real name. He was adopted by Jean-Luc Lebeau. He was raised to be a master thief. So even before he had his abilities, he was a thief. He was taught how to be a master fucking thief. And then let's talk about this botched wedding here. So to fulfill the prophecy, a marriage was arranged between Remy, Gambit, and Belladonna Boudreaux from the Assassins Guild. So he's with the Thieves Guild, these two warring factions. They arrange a marriage between these two, thinking that would unite everybody, right? Well, fucking bring the families together, Adrian. Right. You ever been to a wedding where two families don't get along?
I've been to many things.
Yeah.
A wedding amongst them where two families didn't get along.
Fights usually break out.
Yep.
Especially, it's usually right around the time the fucking open bar closes, right? We'll do 2 hours open bar right at the end. No, everyone's in line getting their last drink, and then next thing you know, people are fighting.
Well, that's why you got to bring the condoms.
It's only in Alabama.
You're estranged after that, so I was like, fuck it.
Okay. So anyways, the marriage was arranged, but Belladonna's brother, Julian, hated this idea. And at the wedding, speaking of fighting, he challenged Remy to a duel to the death. So we're supposed to have this wedding to fucking bring the two families together.
You couldn't do that shit before.
You waste everybody's money. Exactly. Everybody's here. You invited everybody to this wedding. Now you want to have a duel to the death?
It's like, yo, dog, I just want these pork chops and shit. I mean, do that shit later.
Right. I'd be like, yo, can I get my gift back then? Because if y'all gonna fight to the death, bro, you don't need my fucking gift. Believe it or not, Remy won. He killed Julian. And that didn't unite the guilds, Adrian. It sparked a massive war.
Because you just killed your wife's fucking brother.
Yep. So Remy was then banished from New Orleans, and that's when he was kind of forced to go wander the world alone. So that's why he was banished from this place that he grew up.
Wait a minute. All of that is screwed up. Okay.
It's crazy, yeah.
So you got the right to challenge this leader of this, supposedly this figurehead of this other thing, right? Which means that other people agree with it. Mm-hmm. Now, either way, there's not going to be a unification, because if Gambit got killed, there's no unification because there's no one for Belladonna to marry. Mm-hmm. If the brother gets killed, which he did, now Belladonna's pissed off at you.
Right.
So she's probably not going to marry your dumb ass, right? Or if she does, she hates you for the rest of your life, right? So, but the big thing is that these two sides had to have agreed to this duel.
Yes.
But it actually caused more issues than anyway.
Right. Yeah, it probably should have just not had the duel at the wedding. You know, I'm no expert on these things. But
or maybe not had duel at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably could have left that
the
out.
wedding.
You know? I mean, if you're trying to unite the thing, you probably shouldn't have a fight to the death.
Yeah.
Anyways, so his powers manifested in his teenage years. But his powers were uncontrollable in the beginning. This is something that I didn't know this till fucking yesterday. He was way too powerful. His body was generating so much kinetic energy that he couldn't control it. If anything he touched would just explode. He was like a walking fucking bomb. So who'd he go to, Adrian? He made a deal. Speaking of the devil, he made a deal with the devil, someone who you had on Hidden Gem not too long ago. He sought out the brilliant, twisted Genesis Mister Sinister. Sinister, of course, agreed to help him control his powers, right? He did it by performing fucking brain surgery. He did a lobotomy on him. Just popped his head open and started fucking with some shit up here. Wow. And he basically cut out a piece of his brain stem, permanently nerfing his powers so he can control them. So first of all, the Gambit we're seeing now is not even full powered. He used to have, he was so powerful he couldn't even control the shit. Imagine if it would have went to Chuck versus Sinister.
Right.
Because Chuck would have helped him control these things.
I mean, Chuck would have cut out some stuff, but he can also reverse that.
Yeah.
In other words, he'd do like he did with Gene.
Like a mental block.
Put up mental blocks,
sure,
which he can then take down later.
Instead of just, cutting out pieces of his fucking brain matter and shit. But he did not do this for free, Adrian. We know Sinister. I mean, he took a lot. So he owed him a favor. He ordered Gambit to assemble a team of mercenaries, the Marauders, and he led them into the sewers of New York. Remy thought they were just doing a little heist, right? On the thief. He didn't realize until it was too late that he was leading a death squad to slaughter the Morlocks.
I remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
The Morlocks are, it's so fun. It's not funny, but you have the mutants who are outcast because they're mutants. Then the Morlocks are mutants that are outcasted from the mutants because of the way they look, right?
Right.
Because at least the ones, above ground could look like a human for the most part. These motherfuckers look like creatures from the, sewers, so let's send them down to the sewers. Why not?
Yeah, there you go.
So, and then you send Gambit there to fucking kill them all. So he didn't realize that till it was too late. He tried to stop them, and he managed to save one little girl who grew up to be the X-Man Marrow. But the guilt because of this event has haunted him forever. So pretty fucked up. This is before he even joins the X-Men. Let's talk about his power set. So his power, it's funny, kinetic energy in real life is just nothing as cool as this. It's literally just like things fucking moving. But he has this bio-kinetic charging ability. This is his primary power. He can take the potential energy stored inside an object, accelerate its molecules until it converts it into a highly explosive kinetic energy. So everything has its own energy.
Sure.
He can fucking accelerate that and basically charge any object to make it blow up. Bigger the object, the longer it takes, but the bigger the explosion. So why does he pick the playing cards? Not because he used to work at the fucking casino. It's smaller objects charge faster and they're easier to throw.
Sure.
So a deck of cards is light, dude, right? Fucking was it 50 fucking 2 cards or something, and it's only about that thick. So you could have 12 fucking packs of cards on you, where you got enough for half a war,
Yeah.
Trump would be excited. He's got those cards, shit.
I mean, all you got to do is, learn how to throw them.
Yes. So they're easy concealable as well. They're aerodynamic. He can also charge an entire deck in a microsecond. If he charges a brick, it would take longer. It's harder to throw. So very intentional with the whole playing cards. Now, the other thing that this kinetic energy gives him, and this is why I think you may rethink the Shang-Chi battle, because it gives him superhuman agility. So the kinetic energy is constantly flowing through his body naturally, and it enhances his physical attributes. He's essentially a peak Olympic acrobat. His reflexes are so fast, he can swap bullets out of the air with his bow staff. You ever see the staff that he has? So he can literally knock bullets out of the air with that. He's got this hypnotic charm. This is his secondary mutation. The kinetic energy subtly charges the brains of people around him, creating a mild telepathic interference. When Remy speaks, people are neurologically compelled to trust him. So that's just something built in. Perfect for a thief, right?
Right.
So when he comes up and says, yo, my car broke down the street, my kids are there, I need $20 for gas, you're like, oh shit, you want 40? Normally you're like, oh, this guy's a crackhead, right? But if Remy does it, his charm, you're gonna believe him. You might give him fucking a few $100s. So people they're compelled to trust him, believe what he says, they agree with his suggestions. It also causes telepathic static. So because his brain is constantly humming with this biokinetic energy, telepaths hate trying to read his mind. So it's a natural defense he's got.
Sure.
Professor X and Emma Frost have stated that reading his mind is like holding your ear against a blasting jet engine. He is highly resistant to mind control. Now, the Omega level secret about Gambit. So there's a comic where we meet there's an alternate universe, Remy, called New Sun. And in this comic, in this universe, the surgery that Sinister gave him never happened.
Okay.
So his powers evolved to their natural peak. Without the mental block, he doesn't need to physically touch objects to charge them. He can charge things by looking at them. So imagine that shit. Now the Gambit we know, he's got to charge the car, throw it at you.
Right.
You could be running at me with a fucking sword or running that Gambit, and he charges the sword in your hand, he's blowing you up. He charge your fucking shirt.
Yeah, I was gonna say just charge everything that you got on.
Yep, fucking crazy. So there's that piece. Then the regular Gambit cannot charge living tissue. So he can't grab your fucking arm and charge you. But the New Sun Gambit absolutely can. Really? So they don't have to fucking charge your shirt. He can just charge you.
Wow.
Time and space. At his peak, his kinetic manipulation is so profound that he can manipulate the kinetic energy of atoms and freeze time, travel across dimensions, and exist as a being of pure, glowing kinetic energy. And then also in the New Sun universe, his powers grew so wildly out of control, he accidentally burned his entire Earth to a cinder, killing everybody on the planet. That is why he had to be lobotomized. So he actually was an Omega level threat before this fucking surgery.
Wow.
Yes. Now, obviously, that's not the Gambit that we have here. Right. We have the base Gambit. But the piece I didn't know was his superhuman agility, his dexterity, his acrobatics, the reflexes because of this kinetic energy. That's why I say I don't know that he would beat Shang-Chi, but it's not oh God, Shang-Chi would fucking wipe the floor with him.
Right.
I mean, if he can swat bullets out of the air, I'm pretty sure he could swat some of these fucking Shang-Chi attacks out of the air.
Well, assuming he sees it coming.
Right.
Based on that, I still think that Shang-Chi could beat him. Now, this Sun level dude or whatever, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah, everybody just go home.
But no, I think he can still take him. And I didn't know about the enhanced acrobatics. I just thought that was through his thievery, training.
Yeah, same. But I mean, and you never know with Marvel, right? You see shit on screen and they just, make regular ass humans look superhuman. So I'm with you. I don't know that Shang-Chi, would lose the Gambit, but I don't think it would be as easy. Now, let's talk a little bit about how he actually joined the X-Men. So there was a time in the comics where Storm was de-aged. This is a really fucking weird time. So Storm was de-aged. She reverted to the physical age of a preteen, and she lost her memories. So she's a child again. Now, Storm also grew up a thief, right? She was a street thief. So that de-aged Storm ran into Gambit. Gambit found her stealing on the streets. He didn't know she was an X-Men because she's
de-aged. Wait a minute, streets of what? I mean, because when she was a teen, she was... Well, I'm assuming if she got de-aged, she was probably near him at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Not when she was actually a teen.
This is when she was a, member of the X-Men already. Right. So she's here. So he runs into her on the streets, and they formed like a brother-sister bond. They were pulling heists together, And then Storm eventually regained her memories. Because not only was she de-aged, she lost all her memories too. Mm-hmm. So now she, he thinks she's just this preteen. Mm-hmm. She thinks she's this preteen. She's got no memories of the X-Men. He's just helping her. Big brother, little sister type situation. But then when she regained her memories in her adult form, she brought Gambit to the X-Mansion. The rest of the team were instantly suspicious of him. Mm-hmm. And Storm was the one who vouched for him. So if it wasn't for Storm demanding that he was given a chance, Cyclops would have kicked him off the fucking property that day.
I mean, of course Cyclops would.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, he can't have any competition. He's already dealing with Wolverine and shit. You don't need another pretty boy with glowing black eyes showing up.
For real. But it wasn't just Cyclops that didn't trust him. Wolverine didn't trust him. Bishop didn't trust him.
Oh, shit.
Yes, because, he's known as this thief. He does have a dark past, right?
Sure.
He
did wipe out a whole underground of people.
Other mutants, right?
Right.
So Logan and Remy clashed immediately. Wolverine's enhanced senses could smell the secrets and lies on Gambit. So that's the other thing. He lied about his past because of how dark it was.
Sure.
But with Wolverine's senses and shit that you never see in the fucking movies, motherfucker can't smell fucking anybody coming in the movies. Right. But he could tell that Gambit was lying. Over time, though, they developed kind of a mutual respect because they are both guys who have done some terrible things. That's the thing too, Wolverine, bro. You're one to talk. You've killed a lot of motherfuckers. And they're both trying to get better.
Matter of fact, Wolverine don't even know all the people that he's killed.
Exactly, 100%. There's a classic Danger Room moment where they face off, and even though they're not best friends, they just kind of gain this mutual respect for each other because of how vicious and how lethal. Wolverine and Gambit, they're so fucked up, they respect what they can do.
Right.
Now, Scott, the Boy Scout, he's all about rules, right? Military, precision, morality. Remy is about chaos, stealing. And Cyclops constantly expects Gambit to betray them. And so they have a really tense fucking dynamic, which you see in X-Men 97 a lot. They don't trust anything he fucking says. He's always got an issue with everything Gambit does, and he thinks he's going to betray them at some point.
It's got to be stressful to have that background noise working on you at all times, right? Then you out in the field, and you don't know if this dude's going to help you or stab you in the back.
Right.
Plus, you got to deal with your enemy. That's too much.
And he's a powerful ass motherfucker to be worried about if he's gonna stab me in the back.
Right.
He ain't no pushover. If he were to stab you in the back, it's gonna be a problem.
Oh yeah.
Bishop, he's got the most intense rivalry with Bishop. Now, Bishop's time traveling mutant, right? He's from the future where the X-Men were slaughtered one by one. He's, one of the few left. He only had a scrambled recording naming the ex-traitor, because this happens because there's an X-Men that becomes a traitor. And because Gambit was the new guy, the shady guy with the dark past, Bishop spent years convinced that Remy was the one who was going to murder the X-Men, leading to this constant, lot of brawls between these two. Here's a spoiler, though. You know who the fucking traitor ended up being? Professor X, the Onslaught version. Right. So Onslaught is a character. That'd be a fucking, probably a hidden gem, because that's a deep dive there. But so it wasn't Gambit, is the point. Somebody had a good fucking relationship with was Rogue, though. I mean, you know how he feels about his little mama Rogue. But the thing is Remy's whole personality is built on the charm, seduction, physicalness, right? He's a ladies' man. And he falls in love with the one woman that he cannot touch. Right. That's kind of fucked up too, bro. This guy's got some shitty luck. You talking about Peter Parker's luck? Holy shit.
Well, I think if he had a little bit more of his power, he could have. He could do like a Magneto thing.
Yeah.
Do a kinetic condom around his body
condom.
Right.
But unfortunately, he's been lobotomized and he can't. And obviously, if you don't know, Rogue's power, skin-to-skin contact, absorbs a person's memories, powers, and life force. So if he kisses her long enough, he could be put in a coma.
Right.
He could be killed.
Right. Well, I mean, he could do the tongue. I mean, he could do the condom thing, but I don't think it would protect the tongue. So,
right. He put a condom on his tongue. It'd be weird. So it took decades of them to finally hold each other. So they, multiple breakups. They finally got married, and in this comic run, they wear these specialized power dampening collars so they can finally hold each other. That's the other thing too. They have those, right? I mean, we've seen them in X-Men comics so many times, and in the shows, they just slap this collar on you. Your powers don't work. Well, put the fucking collars on, do your business, and take them off.
Right?
Hopefully, they don't malfunction while you're in the middle of it. I mean, that would suck, right?
Imagine Chuck get pissed off, and they like smashing, right?
Yeah.
And he goes there with the button, boop, turn that shit off.
Gambit also was a horseman of death at one point, so he did join Apocalypse during the Blood of Apocalypse storyline. And it goes back to our GOAT, Adrian, Scarlet Witch. So after M-Day, where Scarlet Witch wipes out 99% of the mutant population, Apocalypse showed up, because of course he did, offering salvation to mutants who joined him. And Gambit decided to join Apocalypse, not because he believed him, though. He joined as a double agent. He volunteered to be one of Apocalypse's horsemen so he could get close to him, learn his weakness, and protect the X-Men from inside.
Is this when Bobby Drake was part of the Horsemen as Archangel?
I think so. He believed that he was strong enough to resist Apocalypse brainwashing, because that's the thing too. When you become a horseman, he doesn't just give you the powers; he's brainwashing you as well, right? He was wrong. The brainwashing broke him. Apocalypse physically transformed Remy into the Horseman of Death. He turned his skin pitch black, his hair went stark white, and his powers were aggressively mutated. The death powers. So as the Horseman of Death, he didn't just charge playing cards. He can transmute breathable air into highly toxic, lethal, poisonous gas. He can charge objects with a dark, corrupting energy that would rot whatever it touched. So he could still charge, but fucking much more powerful. It took immense psychological effort and the love of his friends to finally purge the death persona from his mind. But it proved that when Remy goes dark, dude, he's not to be fucked with.
Wait a minute. So he retained that power after?
No.
Okay.
He returned to Sinister, actually. So after Apocalypse was defeated, he didn't just snap out of it. He goes back to the mansion. His mind's all shattered from the brainwashing. Sunfire had also been turned into a horseman, Famine. And when Apocalypse fell, Sunfire and Gambit both were all fucked up. They're stuck in this horseman form. They fled together. They're lost, confused. Oh, my God. But they went back to the devil. He knew, Adrian. He went to fucking Sinister again. And Sinister agreed to help suppress the death persona. But as always, he's got,
a cost.
He's got a cost. He manipulated his fractured state, effectively drafting him back into his mercenary group, to Marauders. He puts him right back in the fucking group, dude. Gambit's had some dark fucking shit after this too, though. So the first mutant baby born after M-Day was Hope Summers, which those of you that are on the road to Secret Wars with me, you will talk about her when we get to Avengers vs. X-Men. But every faction on Earth was trying to capture her at this point. And because Remy was with the Marauders at that time, with Sinister's influence, he was actually fighting against the X-Men. So he's on the whole other side of it. X-Men didn't know how much Remy was in control and how much Sinister was in control, so they had this massive brawl. Wolverine and Gambit threw down, and Logan was fed up with Gambit's betrayals, double cross. He didn't fucking hold back. He actually gutted him, and Gambit was bleeding out in the snow. Didn't kill him because he was quickly fucking transported to get some help from Sinister, and Sinister patched them back up. But he damn near fucking tried to kill him. And then eventually Xavier stepped in. After all this, he finally decided to do something during the whole X-Men Legacy run. And he didn't just wipe his mind. He took him into the danger room and guided him through some psychic therapy. He forced Remy's conscious mind to battle this death persona in his own psyche. Remy had to confront his own arrogance, which is exactly what caused him to think he could trick Apocalypse in the first place. Like, bro, you should have known.
Right.
Like, seriously, you're gonna try to trick Apocalypse? Come on, dude. Some things you don't go race Flash.
No.
You don't start there. Fucking race your cousin, fucking Tommy or something.
Or arm wrestle Superman.
Exactly.
Kind of
like, come on, dude. I'm gonna fucking trick Apocalypse. What? Come on, dude. That's like winning a shirt cocking competition.
The first mutant, right?
Yeah, the first fucking mutant. His powers like literally can enhance your mutant abilities. The fuck? So anyways, he addressed that arrogance and through this, mental surgery with old Chucky boy here, he gets him back to where he needs to be. He confronts his guilt of the shit he's done. He accepts his flaws, and he can finally mentally lock that death persona to, away for good. He proved to Cyclops and Wolverine and Rogue that he's conquered his demons, and he's back exactly where he needs to be, and that set the stage for him to marry Rogue. But Gambit, dude. Now, how did he survive this gutting? Because he doesn't have a healing factor.
Right.
But he was, his body's always coursing this bio-kinetic energy. The energy naturally enhances his durability and stamina way beyond a fucking normal human. So it kept his body from going into fatal shock, even though he just got gutted. He wasn't alone. He was.
So it's not a healing factor. It kind of put his body in stasis.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Slowed down.
Right, slowed down the dying part.
Right. Like anyone else would have went into shock. This kinetic energy prevented that. But I'd imagine if he would have stayed there long enough, he would have went into shock. He was running with Sinister's strike team, the Marauders, and as soon as he went down, they had a teleporter, Vertigo, and they managed to get him out of the combat zone, and then they got him to Sinister, who, he patched him up. He's fucking Sinister. But dude, Gambit, a lot of shit I did not know.
Right.
Power set and then I guess I agree with you. I think, Shang-Chi would still win, but not as easy as when I first heard it. I'm like, why is he even fucking stepping up to Shang-Chi?
Right.
I'd be a fucking pretty solid fight.
Yeah, I think so.
But, it also goes to show you how fucking powerful this dude is. And it makes that scene in X-Men 97 when he destroys the giant Sentinel. It makes that, doesn't seem as far-fetched. Like when that first I was like, really? He can do that shit? But now hearing his power set, of course he can do that shit.
Sure.
It just took a little longer to charge him up.
Right.
But motherfucking Gambit, Adrian.
Hey.
Now, Channing Tatum should not be.
He should not.
He should not be.
Should not. I'm actually envisioning someone like Andrew Garfield.
Yeah. That build, right?
Right.
Because nothing about him is super strength. It's the agility, the speed, the quickness, and the power set.
And I can't imagine with Tatum, you can, snap that neck around that quickly, That dude has
He does, dude. Oh, he's a big dude. I mean, he's jacked, but it's just, for this part, I don't.
Yeah.
Now, I would say, as much as I, people, you hate on him. I'm not hating on him. I'm just talking shit. He definitely did the best I think he could do.
Sure.
It's more the look. Like, I think acting is Gambit. I think the accent and stuff, it was on par. It was good.
Yeah.
But it just, the overall look. When you're looking at him dead on at that fat ass head. But again, I'm happy we're getting a right. I mean, because it could be worse, dude. I'm wearing a shirt right now of a character that we're not gonna fucking have in these movies, That's even like Namor. I'm not as down on Namor as you are. I do acknowledge that this MCU Namor doesn't live up to the comic Namor.
Right.
But I'm just happy we have Namor.
I'd rather not have him than to have this shit that we got.
Damn. Well, speaking of rather not having this shit, the road to Doomsday this week. Our movie of the week was Black Widow, Adrian. Have you even seen this movie?
What?
Black Widow?
Is that like a mystery or some shit?
No.
It sounds like a drama or some shit.
No, it's a fucking Black Widow movie, Natasha.
That movie.
Yeah.
No, I've never seen that.
So this movie, it was the prequel that came out way too fucking late because it dropped in 2021. And if those of you that, remember what happened in the MCU, Natasha was already dead for like fucking 3 years.
Right.
And this movie takes place, why are we watching it this week? because it takes place right after Civil War. I will say, after rewatching this movie last night, it is a much better movie watching it when it should have fucking came out. Because in Civil War at the end, Black Widow, Cap, Falcon, they're all on the run. And this movie takes place when she's on the run, and she's got to go back and face some things of her past, the Red Room and all that shit. Sure. So it was better watching it this way. Still not that great. Still not one of my favorite MCU movies.
She's a supporting character.
Yeah.
At best. I think they kind of propped her up because, who's playing her.
Oh, yeah.
But her and Elena and no.
Yeah, I think that Scarlett Johansson elevated this character. We've all seen Black Widow in the comics, and she's even a very sideline character. She's just there. She's there with S.H.I.E.L.D. She's there. You can't tell. Is that her? Is that Maria Hill? Who the fuck is that? Is that Elena? It's some bitch in a fucking black fucking costume who fights. Right. Got it. Cool. But I think because of Scarlett Johansson's portrayal of this character, she elevated this character.
Sure.
So I could see back then being around the Civil War time, why she should have got her own movie. You don't do it after you killed off the character years later where we've all moved on.
Yeah.
To me, that's weird. It'd be like coming out with Iron Man 4 right now. You're like, right. Bro, he fucking died in Endgame. Yeah, we want to tell you what happened 5 years ago.
Yeah.
No, but he died. We just dealt with this character's death. And then, hey, look what happened before she died.
Right.
Now, why didn't we get this Black Widow movie earlier? It is due to a motherfucker we talked about last week, Adrian. So remember I was talking about Civil War and how initially this fella, the CEO at the time, Ike Perlmutter, didn't want Iron Man in the movie because it was going to cost too much, right? Yeah. Well, this motherfucker, he also...
You mean this motherfucker?
This motherfucker, Perlmutter, this motherfucker blocked female-led movies. So 2 movies that we got way after the case, and I even said this about this movie here, Captain Marvel. Not my favorite movie, but watching it in timeline order, much better watch. Okay. Makes more sense. So what does that mean? That means that the movie probably should have fucking came out then, not in 2019. So he blocked these types of movies from being produced because he claimed that it wouldn't sell action figures. Adrian, who do you think is the biggest demographic for buying action figures right now in 2026?
Females?
Nope.
What do you mean? Like male or female?
No, what age group?
I don't know, 30 and above.
Probably.
Yeah.
Does your grandson have a lot of action figures?
He has 0.
My son doesn't have many action figures, dude. Maybe when he was 4 years old.
He has the traditional stuff, cars and dragons and shit. But,
sure.
Do you consider dragon an action figure?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But
so none.
When I was a kid, I had a lot of action figures. These were what we collected, right?
So today, does that make you still a kid, or do you still collect action figures?
It makes me someone who I don't give a fuck how anyone views that, because I like collecting. I like looking at my action figures, Adrian.
There you go.
But my point is, it's not like they're a bunch of 12-year-old boys that are not going to buy the female action figures. Bro, it's people like our age that I see them on TikTok all the time that collect these motherfuckers. You make an action figure, male, female, fucking in the middle, both, whatever. They're going to collect the shit.
Absolutely.
So I do think these movies would have sold action figures.
Yeah. I almost bought 2 of them a couple weeks ago.
There you go.
Spider-Woman and who was the other one? I think it was Black Widow.
There you go.
So.
Oh, look at that. Ike Perlmutter. Fucking people.
Is he dead?
No. Oh. He got fired, though. So there's that. But so Kevin Feige finally got the green light years later. So that explains why these movies felt so out of place. And also, in my opinion, watching them on this timeline release order, they're much better movies. The budget for this movie was $200 million. So big fucking budget movie. It was released during COVID, and it caused a fucking lawsuit because Scarlett Johansson, in her contract, she had a guaranteed percentage of the box office. Okay. At this point, most of these movies were doing $1 billion fucking at the box office.
Sure.
So imagine they go, Adrian, you're gonna star in this movie. We're gonna give you whatever percentage of the box office, and you're thinking, dude, bare minimum, this thing's gonna do fucking $600-700 million.
Right.
Shit, if the interest is there like it is for these other movies, maybe it does $1 billion. I'm making fucking bank, right?
Plus your salary.
Plus your salary. Mm-hmm. So it was released during COVID, and they made this decision to release the movie in the theaters, but also put it on Disney Plus Premier Access for $30. But because of her contract, she didn't get none of that Disney money.
Yeah. The streaming.
The streaming money. So they're selling it on streaming. That undercuts the theater, right?
Right.
Because if you really wanted to see this and you had the option, you're like, I'll just watch it at home for $30.
Sure.
That's cheaper than going to the movies.
Right. Also, because at home, I'm paying $30 for my entire household.
Correct.
Right. It's like drive-in movies. You pay for the car,
yes,
not the heads.
Correct.
But when you go to the theater, you paying for the heads.
So that was shitty, right? Yeah. And despite that, it came out in July of 21, so still right in the middle of the fucking pandemic. Mm-hmm. It did $380 million worldwide box office. So still did okay numbers, but imagine if it wasn't released on Disney at the same time, right, what that number would have been. You're fucking with her money.
Right.
So she sued them. She fucking sued Disney.
And won, I think, right?
She did win.
Nice.
Yep. She sued them. And she also, because of this lawsuit, it has forever changed how streaming contracts are negotiated in Hollywood. Remember the strikes and stuff a couple years ago? AI was a piece of it, but streaming royalties was a big piece of it too.
Absolutely.
So she helped really change this for actors moving forward to where you're not going to just put shit on streaming and not fucking pay us.
Wait a minute. So she made the movie, sued, and still showed up in Disney movies after that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
She actually produced, because, her character's been dead, but she's actually produced some movies for Disney after this. So, yeah, she's involved. It's crazy. It's just, it's sad that it takes someone who it's been a big part of the MCU, let's be honest, right? Like,
sure.
These Avengers movies, ever since Iron Man 2, she's been part of this. Mm-hmm. It's sad that you're willing to try to do that to someone who helped build this, and then they got to fucking sue you just to make shit right. But I guess that's business, right?
Industry does that all the time. The Ford Pinto. It was a fucking bomb.
Yeah.
It got into it. If it crashed, it exploded kind of a thing, right? Back in the day.
Right.
But they decided that they would, instead of what they call it, recall.
Mm-hmm.
It was cheaper to get sued than do the recall.
Yep.
I mean, what the fuck, man? You would rather deal with the death of people than to fix your shit to prevent the death?
Pretty much.
Happens all the time. Dude.
It does. So I rewatched this movie.
Henry Ford.
Well, he's a big fan of the Holocaust too, on the other side.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's other stuff.
That's other stuff.
So this movie, it's a okay movie. Mm-hmm. It's got some cool action scenes. I think my biggest issue with this movie, two big issues. One, the Taskmaster. They fucking ruin the Taskmaster. It's just when they try to do too much. The premise of this story is Nat's on the run, and then in the beginning, they show this family. Her, Yelena, Red Guardian, and then Melina is her name, the wife. But you learn really, really, really quick that they're just all spies. They're not really a family. They're on a mission.
Sure.
But they're kids, dude. They're like fucking, I don't know, 10 and 12, 8 and 10, some shit like that. So to them, this is their family. And then it gets broken up, and then they go to the Red Room, and we know what happens there. They get turned into these deadly assassins. But this movie forces this family to get back together. Mm-hmm. And Nat learns that the Red Room is still a thing. Like, she thought this shit was gone, right? We burned it down. No, the Red Room is actually this damn facility in the sky. Think of like a SHIELD helicarrier on fucking steroids. Mm-hmm. So, which is actually one of my issues with this movie. You have this General Dreykov. He's the one who she thought she killed years ago. he's still alive, running this whole Red Room. There's a bunch of new widows everywhere. Oh my God, they're everywhere. So now she's on this mission to actually take them down again. And Taskmaster happens to be Dreykov's daughter, who Nat thought she killed years ago, Antonia. And it was her the whole time. So why does that bother me? Well, first of all, I'm not a fan of gender swapping at all. With characters I don't really know, it's also something that I know is going to happen. So I'm not going to fucking, get my panties in a bunch every time it does.
Right.
But Taskmaster is a badass character in the comics.
He absolutely is.
And you see a little bit of that here, but then you don't. And this is just when I feel like they're trying to do too much. You're taking a character and changing the whole dynamic of that character to force it into this story, is how it felt.
Well, not only did they gender swap, but they also nerfed the shit out of this person.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, Taskmaster is the equivalent of the Terminator on the DC side, which is another villain they could spotlight. But of course, if they do that, they got to bring in the Titans.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I was extremely disappointed. And then in the Thunderbolts, it just blasted her up against the wall or some shit. That was like the quickest. I mean, I just felt bad for her.
Right. And I know someone had to die, right? They wanted to set the tone that, hey, nobody's off limits, but damn, dude, you should have just killed off Ghost. Shit.
Right. I mean, you killed the most talented person in the room.
Right. Yep. Right off the bat. So that's one of my issues here. The other issue is how, and I guess because it's a $200 million fucking budget, how big they tried to go with this movie. Like, to me, Black Widow, Natasha, Yelena, they're more ground level characters.
Sure.
We got the end of this movie. There's this big, it almost looks like the damn space center. It's exploding in the air. Now, Nat is a human being. No super soldier, none of that shit. So is Yelena. And they're jumping off of this fucking thing. They're probably 30,000 feet up. And they're literally like flying through the air, catching each other. You got parachutes. They're fighting on pieces of this facility that are it was cool, but way too big for these characters. Like, the math ain't mathing, dude.
Sure.
We got, Natasha, who's an assassin, a spy, a badass fucking fighter. But why is she coming across as superhuman in this? I wish it was a little more low key, to be honest. And then, yes, obviously the Taskmaster bullshit. Now, there was some cool action scenes there. The family stuff, I mean, it's pretty good dynamic, I guess. It definitely helps you understand who Yelena really is, which I think watching this probably allowed me to appreciate her more than some people with Thunderbolts. And I like her as a character. But it's also like Yelena, Natasha, we don't need both, like same shit. There were some callbacks, like we've heard about Budapest so much with Nat and Clint going back and forth. So we actually get to hear about what really happened there. And she thought that she had killed Dreykov and his daughter. That's why she was so like traumatized by it. She thought she killed this little girl who ended up growing up to be Taskmaster. It's kind of like, maybe you fucking should have. I don't know. There's a scene where she is face to face with Dreykov, and she's trying to attack him, but she can't because he's got some type of pheromones that prevent her from trying to cause any damage to him.
That's some vampire shit.
It is some vampire shit. You know what she does, though, to fucking overcome it? She breaks her own fucking nose. She's letting them punch him and shit so it can sever that nerve so she can't smell. And that gets her past this whole pheromone thing, and then she ends up, fucking attacking him.
She could just rip some shit off of her fucking sleeve and stuffed it up her nose. Or held her nose. Right? Breaking your nose is a little extreme,
It's a little extreme. It's a little extreme.
Or, do like old school, put some Vicks up in that bitch.
Right? Something.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, all in all, this movie was, it was filler. It's kind of like filler fucking week here, dude. We had the Daredevil filler episode. This was filler. I like it a little bit more than I did the first time in this order, but not really. Florence Pugh definitely stands out as Yelena in this movie. I definitely, again, I said it made me like her more in Thunderbolts, and I don't mind seeing more of her in Doomsday. And then the post-credit scene sets up Thunderbolts in a way, because Valentina Allegra DeFontaine, she shows up and she hands Yelena a picture of Clint Barton and tells her that he was the man responsible for her sister's death. So post-credit scene takes place after Endgame, which is why Yelena then shows up in Hawkeye trying to fucking kill Clint. So it definitely sets up some stuff, and we get introduced to the Red Guardian for the first time, who is not the Red Guardian you remember in the comics.
Like a chunky monkey and shit. Come on.
But it does set up his role in Thunderbolts, and is a character that I definitely liked more after watching Thunderbolts. In this movie, he was kind of fucking annoying.
Does anybody ask any questions when they go to do they just go in to kill? Like Elena could have just pulled up next to Clint and be like, "Hey, dude, I'm Nat's sister. Did you kill my sister?"
Right.
He's like, it wasn't even like that. I'm trying to kill myself to get this fucking thing.
Correct.
She stops me and jumps herself.
Yep.
But then you don't have the story.
Nope. You shoot first, ask questions later, Adrian. That's how it fucking works. So, no, he did not fucking ask, or she did not ask any. She just tried to kill him. Then he eventually explained it to her. So this movie does set up a lot of things. I just think the timing of it, release of it, really suffered.
Right.
But I think the biggest takeaway is not even like a story standpoint. I'm glad that what's her name, Scarlett Johansson, fought back, got her fucking money, won the lawsuit,
right,
and then fixed this shit for actors for years to come. Because that's some bullshit, dude.
Right.
Trying to fuck your people while you're fucking your people,
Hey, if you're on this side, and you kind of understand it.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Well, that was our movie, motherfucking Black Widow. But Adrian, the good thing about a filler, the good thing about, kind of taking a step back to ramp up is we're about to go on a little bit of a run here. So next week, the motherfucking movie, and it's just odd that you're wearing this, odd that I'm wearing this, Black Panther is our movie for next week. Listen to this run for the next 4 weeks. Black Panther, Spider-Man Homecoming, the first Doctor Strange movie, and then Thor Ragnarok. 4 fucking really good movies. I'm excited. I haven't seen Black Panther in a while. I haven't seen any of these movies in a while.
Right.
So I'm excited to go down this run. Then we have a little road bump on in the middle of May, Ant-Man and the Wasp. But then we go Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, Loki season 1 and 2, and then WandaVision, and then Shang-Chi. Hell of a fucking run.
Sure.
So buckle up, as they say. We got a real fun movie. Now, I can't wait to rewatch this. I haven't seen Black Panther probably in a couple of years.
Yeah.
And I can get that nasty fucking taste of Wakanda Forever out my mouth by watching, the OG himself, T'Challa.
That's it.
So that is our road to motherfucking Doomsday. Moving on. What do we got next, you asked? We got some We Respond. So let's take a look at some comments, read a comment. I'm actually going to start with Spotify this week. So we had a few on Spotify. We got C's, who he joined the internship on Spotify. He says, AWOB comic unks, Civil War was the birth of peak Marvel. Yes, it was. If you weren't Team Iron Man, you were on the wrong team. Nope. Bucky killed Tony's parents. Steve knew about it, and Tony's team should have dusted Steve. Now, that part, I agree with that being fucked up.
Right.
But the whole Sokovia Accords shit, I'm on Team Cap side, dude. Let's see. Dr. Aquafresh says Marvel contractually can't use Spider-Man in any live-action television. Sony holds the rights. Yes, but I think Fist does mention Spider-Man in the previous episodes. Oh, dude, I get all that. My thing is we've gotten past these rights for certain things.
Sure.
Right? Spider-Man Homecoming, Civil War.
Yeah.
Spider-Man was allowed to be used in there. And then you made Far From Home and No Way Home all better movies than anything y'all try to do yourselves.
Right. That's what I was going to say. It's like you continuing to make shitty movies.
Yeah.
Not just Spider-Man movies, but any fucking comic book movie, right? Lease the rights out. At least you probably double the amount of money. You will double the amount of money because you don't have the expense.
Correct.
You know.
Get some help. fucking do it together. They know what to do with your character more than you do. What the fuck is wrong with you? So yes, I get why they do it, but it's like it could easily be worked around. Absolutely. You know. And then JC1 says, I haven't watched it yet, but when I seen the clip of The Watcher, it's got me buzzing for it. I'm gonna smash through it all this weekend. Well, hopefully you do. What I wanted to say about that was we talked about The Watcher last week, right? And when he shows up, it's something fucking important. Now, he showed up right before Vanessa was, destroyed. Do you think that the Vanessa death could be a canon event? Something that happens in every universe? Like, think about the Spider-Verse movies, right? Mm-hmm. We know that if Peter Parker out there in any fucking universe, his Uncle Ben's gonna die. Right. That has to happen. Sure. The Vanessa thing, Vanessa dies in the comics. Mm-hmm. She dies Into the Spider-Verse. And now she died in this Daredevil show. Do you think that the Watcher showed up because he's about to witness a canon event?
Possibly, yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, right?
I mean, something's got to, tip Fisk over. Right. Not that he needs much anyway.
Correct. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not the Fisk expert, but I wonder, are there universes out there where, Fisk and Vanessa live happily ever after? Probably not. I think the bitch always dies. Right? She don't listen. She's in the way. She's doing too much, drinking fucking pineapple juice. Told her to stay home. She didn't go home. You fucking show up. You end up dead. Fuck. That's it. Anyways. All right. Now we have some YouTube comments. Concrete Comics says, "Wow, my guys, dope to see my Moon Knight suggestion for Who the Fuck Is segment." Yeah, so it's a good suggestion. Recent Daredevil episode was awesome to see the flashbacks to the old show. I've obviously been suggesting more Invincible characters. Conquest for Hidden Gems. So the Vitramites was a hidden gem, or as a hidden gem was great. That was last week. Mm-hmm. I got a suggestion for Adrian to recap the Invincible episodes. I know it's late in most recent season, but holy fuck, seeing Thrag's power level on screen was insane.
Yo.
You watched it this past week?
Yes. That shit is crazy.
Damn.
That shit is crazy, how they portray the power. That's the kind of shit we should be seeing in Superman. Right? I mean, he punched this dude so hard twice. Yeah. First, he punched him in space. And he shot him down to the earth. I mean, he was on fire and everything. And then crashed like a meteorite. Yeah. Then not on Earth, on Vitrum. Then he punched him into space. Damn. Now, escape velocity is what, 20,000 miles an hour or some bullshit like that? I mean, he hit this dude so hard. It was just insane, the power portrayal. Yeah. So I would suggest that if you want to get into it, like if you need something to shock you into get into watching The Invincible, watch last week. You'd be like, holy shit. Yeah. And then go back and watch all the other bullshit.
Oh, dude, I know I'm gonna like it. I just don't have the fucking time to watch it. That's the problem. I didn't even watch the last episode of The Boys this past week, really, and no reason outside of I just did not fucking find the time to watch The Boys. Right. So he says that also, us interns will celebrate when Mike finally watches Invincible, day 728. Who the fuck suggestion, Red Hulk. That's a good one. Hidden gem suggestion, Adam Eve. You didn't do a hidden gem on her. I checked. I thought we did too. I thought you did too.
I did Red Hulk and Adam Eve. I definitely did one on Adam Eve.
I thought you did. Red Hulk, I think you had talked about all like the different Hulks in some other.
You're right. You're right. I did the different Hulks.
So it wasn't like a full deep dive. Yeah. You touched on it, but I thought you did Adam Eve too. Concrete Comics, you got to go check again. Sons of Sekhmet.
Yo, speaking of that, did somebody get you that list of all the shit that I did?
No, someone said that last week. You had the list. Where's the list? Send it to me. Sons of Sekhmet says, when she said, I only see 3, you should have said, I see you in that unemployment line, biatch. He's talking about my great incident at, Texas Roadhouse, where they didn't think the non-white people could be part of my party, Adrian. Imagine that, I only see 3.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah. And I'm like, bro, where this place is located, by the way,
right?
You're not used to seeing fucking blended families coming in this motherfucker. Unbelievable.
I mean, the default thought should be so you saw 6 on the thing.
Yeah.
And even if you look up and you initially see 3 white,
right?
You should probably scan out and look for 3 others,
correct,
regardless of the color. Right?
Yep.
Back to your point, especially where this place is.
Like,
right? And if you don't see any other white type people,
right,
just assume that they're fucking around you somewhere.
Correct. Like, but anyway, you're right. You're right. Fucking Sons of Sect Man. I should have said, fuck you, bitch. McSkeeter says, AWOB, gentlemen, I agree, Mike. You should have wrote Moon Knight. It would have been way better. But this week's episode of Daredevil, I hate to say it, but it felt like a filler episode. Oh, it did. Like, I'm glad they didn't drag out Vanessa's death, but the damn episode was slow. And side note, the new Street Fighter trailer actually looks awesome. Yes, it does. I'm kind of looking forward to it now. I can't fucking wait. I don't know, what did you guys think of it? If you saw it, you haven't seen the latest one, Street Fighter. I think it looks like a lot of fucking fun. It looks goofy, over the top. It looks like what a video game movie should look like.
Sure.
It should be bright colors. It should be fun. It should be shit that you see that you could never do in real life. It should be intense. It should be action-packed. It feels that way. So, and then he goes, as always, have a great week. Hope y'all are staying dry. Well, we ain't fucking staying dry right now.
Right.
It's been pouring here for the last week in Milwaukee. No, ours just started today, but OG Dirte says, my Spotify doesn't have commercials, so I can listen uninterrupted. Adrian, since Mike does not have the time to watch Invincible, can we do a deep dive to introduce Mike to the world of Invincible? My friend did me the same way. He kept telling me to watch it until one day I watched it. I'm going to watch it. It's on my list, too. It's on my list. Let's see. Josh Diaz says, another fire episode. Great content. Already purchased my Read a Comic tee in black. There you go. Shout out. It's going to go fresh with my Black Cat 4s. Nice. Episode 4, Daredevil, was insane. Best one yet. Love the diner scene. Was epic. Bullseye definitely earned the moniker in that one. Oh, 100%.
Right.
And then he says, I love Texas Roadhouse as always. Leave with 2 bags full of that cinnamon bread. That shit is good.
Yeah, it is.
But Jesus Christ, dude, I can't help. It's like crack to me. And he said, last thing, you're fucking right. Moon Knight is not Marvel's Batman. It's not even close. Of course not, dude. Of course not. Let's see. The Captain Canada, motherfucking AWOB, fellas. Wait, is 35 Unk years already, or am I still good? No, I think you got to hit 40 to be Unk status, dude. Yeah, you're not Unk yet. You're like big bro. You're gonna be big bro there. But I'll say it again. Daredevil show has been top tier. Definitely want to see him in Doomsday and Secret Wars. New England accent. Yeah, the Wars. That was great. What the fuck is Moon Knight? He's OP. I wish we can see more of him. Yeah, I wish we could too. Come on, Marvel. Make it motherfucking happen. Civil War is my top MCU film for sure. Bring on the next few. Sydney Sweeney would be a great Emma Frost. And that cap hat is fire. Might have to get one as a birthday gift to myself. Do it. Pure Venom. AWOB, Mike and Adrian. I'm still here, man. Just busy with work and a graduating kid. Oh, shit. Also, all these shows and reading, guys, I'm just trying to keep up for real. Invincible is on my list too, Mike. I haven't watched it yet. See, it's not just me, Adrian. Pure Venom hasn't seen it either. But have y'all heard of Paradise on Hulu? My wife got me into this. You should add it to the list. You heard about this Paradise on Hulu?
I think I've seen it, the thumbnails on it, but no, I haven't dove into it.
Yeah, me neither. I definitely heard the name, but he says we should. I'll add it to my list, dude. My list is long, bro.
Right,
You know, it's to be like another one. And then CG is on one. AWOB Adrian gonna stop ragging on how we talk in the South. Adrian, I think you're from the South, so I think you kind of have that, you know, you have that built-in pass. You're allowed to make fun of the way they talk.
There's a lot about passes these days, so I don't know.
DJ Super Soldier, AWOB, my guys. Mike, did I miss it? What's the next movie? Oh no, it was Black Widow. And Mike, what Invincible, my guy? Everyone's asking me, Adrian. And let's see. OG says, I have not read Invincible comics either, but the reason I brought up Tech Jacket was because in the comics, Tech Jacket was a guy.
Yep.
If you change that, it kind of changes the story of Invincible. And one of the things I like about Invincible is they pull their story straight from their comics. I hope they don't follow the current Hollywood trend like the Harry Potter reboot. And then I think that's about it. So I appreciate all of the comments, all of the motherfucking interns, AWOB, as we say. And if you are an intern or you're not an intern yet and you want to join, you can do it in 2 spots now. You pick one or the other. You get the same fucking benefits. But it's on Spotify for those of you that like Spotify more. So that being said, we are going to move on, Adrian. We're talking a lot about hidden gems. Who is the motherfucking hidden gem this week?
All right. So the hidden gem this week. So we've talked about places. We've talked about things. We've talked about teams. This is a intro. It was brought to our attention a couple of weeks ago. This new comic came out. Checked it out, and it was amazing. I can understand why it's in reprint and or you cannot get to it. It's called The Antagonist. This is a critically lauded indie comic series from Godhood Comics, created by Tyler Martin. It flips the traditional hero narrative and focuses on domestic lives of retired supervillains.
Okay.
Now, you watch this and then it's like, we talk about who's a supervillain versus a superhero versus like a Dr. Doom, who is whatever he needs to be in order to get whatever he wants to get. So, but this is a complete script flip on the whole comic dynamics, I think.
Yeah.
But the art is fantastic, and the characters are very dynamic. So basically, so Godhood Comics is an independent Black-owned comic publisher in Atlanta, Georgia. They created specifically to address the lack of Black and brown heroes in mainstream comics. Tyler F. Martin, founded the company in order to pursue. After a decades-long career in education in 2018, shifting full-time into writing and publishing. His goal was to highlight diversity in comics. He focuses on the biopic characters and concepts, produce high-quality, creator-owned IP, and supports new creators through education and mentorship. So he didn't just create Godhood Comics. He also launched Godhood Media Group and Godhood Schoolhouse Initiative. So he not only created the outlet, he created a consortium so that he can attract comic writers, animators, so on and so forth, and the school in order to educate them up through the comics. So he's like, he's kind of like turning out to be like the Tyler Perry of fucking comics, right?
Oh, shit.
So, but
minus the cross-dressing.
Minus that to be seen. I don't know.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. So, so the core premise of The Antagonist is that 20 years after nearly toppling the United States, the infamous villains Destructus and Ultima, husband and wife, they disappeared into suburban anonymity as Calvin and Tanya. I like the last name. It's Eval, like evil.
Okay.
But EVAL. They're raising 3 children and trying to blend in until old enemies, government forces, and new threats force a family back into conflict. So the main characters are Calvin, Eval, Destructus. He's a disciplined, stoic, former supervillain with powerful telepathy and genius-level intellect. Now he's a high school principal. That's his cover. Tanya, the most unstable one, Ultima, she's super strong, bulletproof, heat vision wielding matriarch with a fierce protective streak, works in commercial real estate. Traylon, the eldest son, college student and underground MMA fighter with regenerative healing factor. Leah, she's the middle child going through her shit. I read the first one, and it's all a lot of family drama. She's the middle child, high schooler with phasing and power mimicry abilities. And then Taj, the youngest, he's a brilliant inventor with intellect rivaling his father's. Then you got Sheila English. She's an FBI agent from Action, think S.H.I.E.L.D., with a personal vendetta against the eval parents, yet a strong moral compass. So the tone of the series is family drama, supervillain, redemption arcs, government conspiracy, action, and moral complexity. So basically everything that we talk about between Only Comics and other stuff. So Destructus. So his power set is he's a powerful telepath. Of course, the genius level intellect. So he's strategic, calculating, He's an expert tactician. But the other thing that he does is he keeps his wife in line because she always wants to go off based on, I mean, she literally went in, decimated the army. The president was in a bunker in a steel fucking thing under the White House. She just jumped in that shit and snatched him out like it was nothing. But for Destructus, his implied power. So it's so new that we don't really have a gauge of how strong or indestructible these people are.
Yeah.
But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break down these powers and then give you kind of a slight comparison of to Marvel and or DC people, right? So you got Destructus. His closest Marvel comparison is like a Professor X with the raw telepathy and leadership style, or Gorilla Grodd in DC, or in Lex Luthor with the genius level intellect and tactical villainy. Then you got Tanya Ultima. She's got super strength, bulletproof skin, heat vision, similar to a Kryptonian Superman, and skilled combatant. So we don't have exactly how much tonnage she can lift or how fast she can fly and all this other kind of stuff. But her shit is Kryptonian coded, meaning that she's on par with Superwoman, Supergirl, Power Girl.
Yeah.
Nearly identical power suite. Or DC with Superman with the heat vision, durability, and strength, or even Captain Marvel with the combination of the strength and durability. Traylon, or Trey, he has regenerative healing factor. He can survive injuries that would kill normal humans, peak physical conditioning. His human conditioning is coming from underground MMA fighting, not some superpower thing, right? So he's not like even a Captain America super soldier shit. So you can compare his healing factor to like Wolverine or X-23.
Yeah.
Even like Deadpool would be a stretch, but in that healing factor arena. Aaliyah, she has phasing, intangibility. She can become intangible, and power mimicry through touch. So she's like a Kitty Pryde plus Rogue. So Kitty Pryde can phase through things, and Rose can adopt other people's power just by touching her. She can do both of those things.
This is the crew right here?
Yep. And in the first comic, the Ultima on the left, the mother, Destructus on the right, then the three kids behind. Ultima, she gets shit on by, so she works in real estate.
Yeah.
And she works in real estate, and she was supposed to be going up for partnership.
Mm-hmm.
And the owner of the company screwed her over.
Of course.
So she just burnt his ass to crisp in the parking lot.
So what you're saying is they don't have a no-kill rule?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Matter of fact, 20 years ago, like I said, she went toe-to-toe with a whole entire army. Mm-hmm. Blowing them up, throwing tanks on top of them, cutting them in half, all kinds of shit. Damn. So no, they had no problem whatsoever. So Taj, the youngest, he's a genius level intellect. He's genius level intellect, comparable to his father, a skilled inventor and scientist. So he builds advanced tech. So he would be compared to like a Reed Richards and Tony Stark / Cyborg in DC. So I found that this whole comic book is engaging. Like I said, the art and the storyline I think is pretty incredible, and it also speaks to the of how popular it is that you can't even get a reprint today.
Yeah,
you can't find these things anywhere. I think they have a limited run. I think it's probably 7 books out there so far. I don't know where they're going to take it, but it's so popular they're also attracting movie studios as well.
Yeah.
So I expect to see a lot of out of this group, the Godhood Comics group, coming forward. But I just wanted to kind of put it on everybody's radar.
Yeah.
Probably as a different distraction. So I think if you like Invincibles, you'll like the Godhood Comics, the antagonist.
Yeah. I haven't done the deep dive. Well, now I just learned, but I heard this from somebody, actually we both know, a few weeks ago.
Right.
I'd never even heard of this shit.
Yep.
And it just, we get so focused on Marvel, DC. Right. They're the big dogs, and they're going to be the big dogs, right? But that doesn't mean that, and this is, I think, kind of speaks to where we are now from like a social media standpoint. If you make good content, you make good shit,
right? It's
going to get out there.
Yep.
It's much easier now than back in the day.
Absolutely.
Right? Because you could release this shit just digitally, and then you don't have to create fucking, comic books, and your reach could be unlimited versus back in the day, you got to have a distributor deal, you have a publisher deal.
Right.
Now, bro, you can go on YouTube and learn how to make your own fucking comic book. Right. It's just, do you have an idea? Do you have stories? Do you have content that's going to hit and resonate with people? And obviously, if you do, you go from, a couple of years ago, nobody knows who you are, to now being the most popular independent comic book, period.
Right.
Which is crazy. It's so, dude, now I need to get some fucking issues of this stuff, dude.
So it was actually what is it where you go and you can like pitch your ideas and people like GoFundMe kind of thing. It started out with that Kickstarter, some shit like that.
Okay.
So it started out like that, which gets its initial money to then produce the thing. So if you got an idea, go to like a Kickstarter or some shit, and if people like it, I've seen things where people go on Kickstarter and they ask for, let's say, $50,000, right, to make something. And they get like $2 or $3 million startup money, seed money.
Yeah.
So it just really depends. And this was one of those things that it got out. So not only does Kickstarter give you marketing, but it also gets you startup money as well.
Right. Yeah, it gets you in front of people. And
not that Kickstarter's a sponsor of Only Comics.
No, they're not. They should be. Fuck, they should be kicking us some starter money. What the fuck? But dude, awesome hidden gem, and I did not see that one. Even though we talked about this a few weeks ago, I did not see that coming as a hidden gem. But yeah, it makes me want to check out this damn comic run. And can you buy them digitally anywhere? Do you know?
No, I haven't even. Because there's actually, it started in
2021, right?
21, right? And I think there's 6 issues.
Okay.
So this is not like a monthly thing.
Right.
So I don't know how you can get it.
Yeah.
But apparently you can get it. So I would assume that you can't even get it digitally if you can't get it.
Yeah. True. Damn.
So
that's a good fucking problem to have if you're these guys. So well, good shit. And we are going to wrap up, Adrian, like we do every motherfucking week with some agree to disagree. But I do want to give everybody a kind of sneak peek of what's going to happen on other stuff this week. So last week on other stuff, we talked about mind control.
Yeah.
Right. And you and I have had conversations like this before. We're talking about something and we'll be like, dude, I was talking about this shit, and I opened up my phone and I saw an ad for it. Right. And so our devices are listening to us.
Absolutely.
So I dug deep into that because there's also this theory that, have you ever felt this way? You thought about something, you never said it out loud, you never fucking Googled it, you never talked to ChatGPT or Copilot, whoever the fuck, or Claude about it, and then you see ads for it. Does that ever happen to you?
Not that I can recall.
Okay. I feel like that's happened to me. And y'all let me know. Have you ever thought about something and it just popped up on your fucking phone?
Dude.
So I got some... and what's funny is, what does that have to do with comics? It reminds me of Kang the Conqueror.
Okay.
Because the technology in these devices, you think it's just my laptop. Put the keys against the Wi-Fi and the screen.
No, I don't think that at all.
Well, you don't, but I mean, most people. Like, there's so much more to these devices that it almost sounds magical.
Sure.
Just like if Kang showed up here from, the year 4022, we would think that this dude's a sorcerer or some shit, right? But really, he's just showing up with the tech from the year 4000, bringing it back here, and we can't even fucking comprehend what we're looking at.
Right.
So I think that there's tech that we see, there's common tech, but then there's like, I think even you have said this before. We're talking about a hidden gem. There's hidden tech too. There's stuff that we don't even know are in these devices.
Sure.
That the devices all talk and they. Anyways, we're gonna get to that on other stuff, and we're gonna talk a little bit about Bullseye as well, because Bullseye is a character we talked about last week where we were going back and forth. Is he super powered? Is he not? And I guess it depends on what version, but it's kind of like, you got the kinetic energy that Gambit charges up, and Bullseye almost uses what really is kinetic energy, just force, right?
Right.
So we're going to discuss that, but that's on other stuff. That's not right now. If you want to check that out, you can join the Legion of Interns. You can do that here on YouTube. You can do that here on Spotify. I say here like you watch this both places. You do it on either fucking platform if you want. But anyways, we're going to wrap this up with a little agree to disagree, Adrian. Believe it or not, it's going to be Dr. Doom themed.
Okay.
So are you motherfucking ready?
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, number one. Everybody should have listened to me when I told them that RDJ was playing Victor Von Doom, not a Tony Stark variant.
Agree.
I mean, we found out, he's got the accent. And someone will still, but what if he was Tony that was raised in Latvia? Shut the fucking fuck up. The next one is my opinion. Well, they're all my opinions. I like everything I've heard about this Doomsday trailer so far.
Agree.
Okay. But it's definitely missing the King, T'Challa. It's missing that.
Wait a minute. Who? Oh, T'Challa. Got it.
Yes. I know you forgot because they just got rid of him.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But it'd be cool if they just pop him in there somewhere.
Why
That'd
not?
be fucking phenomenal, dude.
Why not?
Hey.
Daredevil, this is a prediction, Adrian. Daredevil will be in Spider-Man Brand New Day.
You think so?
I think so. Do you agree?
More so than not. So
okay.
Agree.
You're leaning.
I'm leaning.
DC should be ashamed of themselves for limping into CinemaCon with a Clayface teaser and an extended Supergirl trailer. Where's Batman? Where's Superman? Where's everybody else?
Right.
I'm going thumbs down.
Right.
That's my opinion. You agree or disagree?
I agree.
Even though Channing Tatum shouldn't be playing Gambit, Gambit deserves the MCU spotlight that it sounds like he's getting in Doomsday as a character.
I don't agree with that.
Okay. Disagree. And then Doom as a character is a major upgrade from Kang the Conqueror.
We don't know.
As a character for character.
Okay, sure. I agree.
And you all should too. Yeah, you fucking should. Or not. You don't have to. You can disagree and then you can complain about it in the comments. But and that is not to knock Kang, but it's just obviously we don't know the portrayal, what it's gonna be.
Right.
But I'm going character for character. I'm pulling out fucking trading cards here. Yeah. Hey, which one you want in your movie?
Yeah. Doom is a more robust character regardless. Kang just has not been on people's radar from the very beginning.
Yeah. And I think what Kang is, Jonathan Majors did such a good job.
That was it.
He made you want Kang.
Right, exactly. So he did for Kang what RDJ did for Iron Man.
There you go. And what he's gonna fucking do for Doctor. Do you watch next year, Halloween? Everyone's gonna be dressed up as little fucking Doom bots, dude. I'm calling it right now because Robert Downey Jr., in my opinion, is going to fucking cook as Victor Von Doom, and I can't fucking wait. So, Adrian, it's been fun. It's been a fun day here. I'll say week. It's been a fun day here on Only Comics. I appreciate all of the interns shouting us out. We had a fun live this past week, dude. It's WrestleMania weekend. I didn't even talk much about that. I didn't talk about that at all. It's WrestleMania weekend. Saturday was mid as fuck, so we're recording this now Sunday, so hopefully tonight's main event, hopefully tonight's show's a lot better. But it's kind of one of those things where they sacrifice money for quality. They go to Vegas 2 years in a row. They hike the fucking ticket prices up so families can't go anymore. And they spend so much time worrying about incorporating celebrities and sponsors and this and that. And you still got to have a story.
Right.
It's kind of the point about this, comic book, the antagonist. It hit your radar, my radar, because of how awesome the story is.
Right.
I haven't read it yet, but I know people are talking about it, not because Disney made it or Marvel made it. Somebody you never even heard of made it. But they made shit that was that good that 5 years later, we're still talking about it.
Right.
Or it's hitting our radar 5 years later, and you can't even go get a fucking copy of it right now.
Yeah.
Crazy. So imagine that. But anyways, Adrian's been fun.
Absolutely.
Guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, you want some awesome merch, go to onlycomicsmerch.com. If you don't, then fucking don't. Just come back here next week. And if you are an intern, we'll see you tomorrow on other stuff.
That's it. Peace.